Just give me one sec, guys. Just finishing up a couple things. Be right with you. Alright guys, how we doing tonight? I'm Lance Lisciotti and I'm joined by Kenny Hoke in the booth. How you doing, Kenny?
What's up, guys? How we doing, Lance?
Good. So we got Race to 11 9-ball. They're playing with Kenny Jaramillo and Mike Ash, and they're playing a Race to 11 called 9-ball. The 9 has to go last. Rack your own template. Josh Tour fouls, which is all ball fouls in the act of shooting, and if you move something pre-shot, opponent has the option. I think that's everything. So chat, what do you got? You got any predictions on this match? Pretty evenly matched opponents. Should be a good battle.
I think it's pretty much a coin flip here. I know Kenny is, I know he plays a lot of bar box, but I really haven't seen him play on a 9-footer much. And Mike Ash is from the Mass. He's just over the border over in Mass. I'm not sure, around Springfield area, but no, Mike plays on 9-footers every now and then. But it should be a good match as they get off to a start here. Not sure how much practice either one has on the diamond, though. I think that's going to be the maker.
Yeah, that's a great point, because I don't think there's any diamonds available in Mass, 9-footers at least. And I think the only diamond Kenny probably plays on would be a 7-foot one. I know he's in with like Ray Ortiz and all those guys, and I think they have a 7-foot diamond at one of their houses that they all play on all the time or something.
Right.
And I think like even like some spot in, I don't know if it's like New Britain or Bridgeport or somewhere out there. I think there's a diamond somewhere out there that these guys play on. But yeah, it's very unique if you're not used to diamonds. You know, anytime you switch equipment that you're used to. You know, I remember all I ever played on was Gold Crown 3s for years and years and years, and then I started playing on 7-foot diamonds at the Expo, and I felt lost. I felt like a lemon. And then I started playing on this 9-foot diamond when they got it, and same thing, felt like a lemon. And now I feel like a lemon on Gold Crowns, because I never play on Gold Crowns anymore. All I play on is this diamond or 7-foot diamond, so definitely important to be comfortable in the equipment.
Yeah, that's for sure. Nice hit there by Mike. Left him a pretty easy combo, though. Yeah,
not too many problems here. Every ball's got a pocket. No combos have to be played. He's got a great opening shot. He should make the combo and have a great look at the 3. It's almost impossible to hook yourself here unless you really overhit it and go 2 rails behind the 4. So yeah, this is his first really good opportunity to get on the board and strike first.
You almost, I don't know if he got too straight there. Might have to cheat the pocket a little bit to come off table.
Yeah, with the four lays, how the four lays, it shouldn't be too difficult because you have the top right corner, you have the side. Even if you were to somehow get way up table, both bottom corners are open. Every pocket on the table's open. So
he wants to stay clear of the 6, so he doesn't want to hit that 6 at all.
no. But even if he did, he'd still have a good, like if he went low right into the 6, he'd still come out with a pretty good look of the 4 on the side. I mean, he's going to have a look somewhere, and it's almost impossible for him to hook himself here. Yeah, he's just going to take a shot in the corner. Nothing wrong with that. He would have liked maybe a little angle going left towards the 6, but even if he's dead straight, he can just stop it and cut the 6 and go back and forth for the... He could make the 4, stop here, play the 6, and go back and forth with the cue ball back for the 7. That was some pretty sloppy drawing skills there, but we'll work on it.
Yeah, Rob Slota says should be a good match. He used to play both these guys in Masters. It's about the only spot I see them both play is Masters in East Windsor.
Yeah, that's where I believe is Kenny's homeroom. I very rarely go there, but usually I do see him when I have stopped there.
So I don't see any predictions, guys. Let's hear it. What are we thinking here? Who wins?
Yeah, chat. What do you have for predictions?
I think there's 1,000 push-ups in the middle.
Yeah. Yes. That is correct.
Got himself into a little spot here. Made it tough. Gonna have to do some work here. Hasn't really been the easiest of the first racks, but
yeah, you see nerves come out a lot in the beginning of a set and the end of a set a lot of the times too, so not uncommon to see a couple of struggles or position errors, mistakes early or late.
Bob Doran asks, what's Kenny's Fargo? You know what, I'm not too sure either of these guys' Fargos. I know somewhere around 500, but don't quote me.
And both of them have very low robustness, so take that how you want to take it, but
right.
It doesn't mean much. The Fargo really doesn't mean much in either of these. It's close, it's a great starting point, but...
Right. Jen K says she's got to go with Mike. Will Cook says he's going to take a stab and say 11-6 Mike. Eagleson is saying 11-8 Mike Ash wins. Bob Doran says he's going to go with Kenny. He doesn't even know Mike, but I've seen Kenny play for money, so we got a few going for Mike, and then we got a few going for Kenny, so it should be a good matchup.
Yeah, I like to see split split decisions, because that usually means it's a battle and nobody's stealing.
It's pretty even. I'm pretty sure these guys play each other more than we know about too.
I had wondered that coming in because I thought it was a strange matchup just because one guy's from Mass, one guy's more of a quiet guy out of snaps, right. And I was very surprised when I got the message. So yeah, but you might be right. They might have had plenty of matches in the past that we don't even know about. So Mike got sharked by that guy walking up on him.
Yeah, that's Kenny's boy.
Yeah,
no. Yeah, that's a good stand up. That's a good good habit to get into. If something bothers you, stand up from it.
Totally,
especially on the money ball.
Totally agree. He could have stayed down.
Good shot.
And said, "This is a hanger. I don't care." But that's when you miss it. So that was very.
And then you have a reason to blame someone.
Yeah, and you definitely don't want to start the set like that until...
Right. I agree with that.
So they will be using the digital pool scoreboard at the bottom. They're keeping score on a tablet. Doesn't look like they've marked it yet, but that should be updated very soon. If not, I'll go out there and make sure that it is.
And so it's definitely gonna be a good battle. I'm sure it'll be close. Yeah, pretty sure it will be. And I believe they're using a magic rack, or are they using the AccuRack?
Yeah,
the magic rack.
they.
I agree with them.
I asked them, "What do you guys want to use?" I got all templates. I got hand rack, whatever you want to do. And Mike said template, and Kenny said, "I don't care." And there just happened to be a magic rack sitting there, and they were like, "Yeah, we'll just use that." So
Yep.
it's going to be interesting to keep our eyes on the break here. If one player has much higher success than the other, it will probably be a determining factor in the set.
Right. So Mike to break. I didn't see where Kenny broke from when he started, but Mike to break from the side. That seems to be the sweet spot.
Yeah,
Magic
I'm curious if they're going to try to crush it or control. Okay, I like that break because that's
a great
controlled.
break. Yeah.
And look at this, makes 2 balls, has a great opening look on the 2.
Yeah.
That's how I think just about everybody, every amateur should break with Magic Rack. You really shouldn't smash them.
Right.
You should really play the wing and control the 1 and the 2.
And the cue ball.
And the
And
cue
he
ball.
did good job controlling the cue ball there. He went 1-2 rails, 1-2 rails, and right back in the center. So I think he's gonna try to. Go and use right on this ball and play it off the bottom, the lower rail, and then off the left rail. Then he might have to go above it and play the 3 on the side, I would think. Because I don't think if you can draw it back and get past that 8. I don't know if you want to move that 8. And then see what he does here.
I like going forward 3 rails
Yeah,
like
that's
that.
the shot.
Yeah, that's definitely the shot.
A little short though. Want to be on the other side.
Or he, yeah, I mean, I don't know. Yeah, he could have been playing underneath the 3 or above the 3, but he went right on it, which is no good. But
We're just gonna see a safety here.
yeah, I'd like to see. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that, but I think he could have went something like this behind these. You know, behind this whole cluster here, probably could have been pretty dangerous, but the 3 could have leaked out to here, and the cue ball could have been here, and then you leave a shot, so he knew at worst he's just going to leave a bank here. And it looks like Kenny went in on it, and it got the double kiss and got a good roll there.
Yeah. And they're playing 9 goes last, so that doesn't really matter if he caroms a 9 in or not. Do they get to keep on shooting if they is it continue to shoot if they early 9 it without calling?
Typically it is.
Yeah.
I didn't hear that exact part, but typically it is.
Okay, yeah.
He tried to cut that in and run out, but he overcut it. And he might have given up a look here. It looks like Mike should be able to cut this in. The question is, what can he do with the cue ball? He might have to gamble and go into the 8-9. I think he'd like to use some right and do something like this and back out for the 5 in the bottom right corner, but it's no hanger. And it might be so thin that the right hand English won't take.
Guys, again, if you're in the area, come on down and watch. Oh, he decided to play a safe.
Yeah, he's not going to be happy with that.
No.
So this 8-9 could be pretty tricky late in the rack.
Depends on where he gets on the 7, really.
I mean, I don't care where he gets on the 7. You know, if you're
Goes off.
Maybe maybe I hit the wrong button. I don't know. So sorry guys. Somehow the audio got muted, and not sure how, but sorry about that. Will Cook, thanks for commenting, or we would have been sitting here talking to ourselves. Just to verify, can you guys hear us now? Is everything good?
So he overran a little bit. And it's going to be a ball in hand right there. He didn't hit a rail. He hit it too soft and rail. So
okay, well,
no,
Cook, great.
thanks.
Thank you for letting us know. I must have accidentally hit the mute hotkey when I was doing the drawing or something. Apologize for that. So Mike with ball in hand here, and see any issues?
Good chance to go up 2-0.
Yeah.
Mike's a shorter player, and I know that's one of the things that we always joke about, how short he is, but
Right.
not afraid of the bridge. Plays with the bridge a lot, so probably has a couple extensions too.
Yeah, I was just, after you said that, I was just looking at his cue, and it looks like a standard 58-inch. A lot of the times you'll see shorter guys use longer cue. Uh-oh.
Oh.
Yikes.
Yeah.
He might have got a skid there because his reaction was pretty like, what happened there?
Yeah.
Normally when a guy dogs a ball or mishits it, he'll jump because he knows immediately that he mishit it.
Right.
But he had more of like a, what happened there? That was
Yeah.
strange look. But regardless, it sold out, and Kenny takes advantage and 1-1.
Just remind the score. All right, guys. I think we got I don't know, maybe a little crease in the rack or something. All right, so after having a couple problems racking, he finally got a good one here. So we got Kenny breaking from off center. See how he does. Made it pretty square, made the 3. Got a shot on the 1. See how he does through this rack here. So unlucky roll there for Kenny as he hangs a 1 ball, but that's deep. That's going to be a tough one for Mike to get. Even if you jump it, it's not, I don't know if it's going to benefit you. I mean, because that's so deep in the pocket that it's tough to control the cue ball. But if he gets past it, he's got the 2-9 if he gets on the good side of the 2. See what he does here.
Alright guys, so they were having a little racking difficulty, so I went and got some new racks for them, and
He hit that ball good. And he just hung up 1 ball, and Mike had to jump it, and I mean the ball was hanging. It was like, I don't know how it didn't go, and he just he made the 1, and I couldn't see the path because of he was blocking it, but he got really good on the 2-9 combo.
yeah, well, but remember 9 has to go last, so we're going to find out the rules here. Typically, when you play 9 last, you pocket the 2-9, you spot the 9, and then you keep the shooter continues on the 2 ball, which this lays pretty good for.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. He's taking a long time. Like, I don't know. He might be concerned about where the 2 ball goes, but yeah, I think he's going to ask about. I'm going to go clear this up real quick about. Well, hold on.
Yeah, so just clearing up whether the 9 ball has to go last or not, I believe. Because I believe they agreed on 9 going last. And I believe the shooter continues to shoot if the 9 ball goes, but I'm not sure if they have to call it to continue to shoot or not. So.
Alright guys, so we were just clearing up these rules before the shot's taken at least, and they're going to play the traditional way of if he pockets the 9, it spots and he continues to shoot, and if the 9's the last ball on the table and you make it in the wrong pocket, the opponent has the option to shoot or make the original shooter continue and shoot again.
Gotcha, okay. So Mike just tried to thin the 2 and go behind the 9, and he fell a little short. It didn't hit a rail, so got Kenny with ball in hand with a fairly, runnable layout here. Don't really see any problems. Just got to give himself some space here. He's just gonna have to draw back here a little. Yeah.
So I think ideally here you'd like to stay on like this side of the 5 so that you can pocket it and go like this, you know, for the 6. You don't want to get straight. I mean, you can get almost anywhere and be okay, but I think ideally you just take distance with the correct angle. He could go like way up table around here, but then you got to flirt with the side. And this is okay. It looks like he's got an angle going to the right, long rail, and back out to about center table.
Power it though.
Yeah, he's got to stun through it a little bit, but I think he should be okay. Ah, see, he tried to manipulate a little too much. He tried to use more spin rather than stun.
It looked like the cue ball got away from him a little bit.
Yeah, it wasn't a great looking stroke. It looked like he might
Gave
have
up on it,
decelerated a little bit.
Yeah. Oh, Mike just got down and shot. Rattled it. See, I think the diamonds, playing on the diamonds, definitely new. It seems like it's new to both these players a little bit.
Nothing to plug it into. So I don't know if we can catch the replay to see what happened. We were trying to adjust something. Okay, just in time. Oh, the old scratch on the side.
The side got him. The side pocket ate it.
That is a cold roll. So Mike just had ball in hand on the 8 last rack. Now he's got ball in hand on the 7, and he failed to run out last rack. So, you know, he's got to be feeling like a little nervous for ball in hand on 3 balls. That should be routine. But we've seen him make a couple uncharacteristic mistakes so far. Under hitting the ball, failing to get a rail, missing the 9, which might have skidded on him, but.
Yeah, without those mistakes, he'd be up. I think he'd be up 3.
Well, they've only played 2. Yeah,
2-0.
So should be 2-0. Right? But I mean, to be fair with Kenny, that scratch on the side was pretty cold.
Yeah, it was.
You know, so like,
sure.
Maybe, yeah.
Who knows? No.
I mean, really, actually, if you think about it, it'd be 2-1 if they just played perfect and ran out where they were supposed to. Mm-hmm. It would have been 2-0 Mike, and then Kenny would have won this rack, and it would have been 2-1 Mike either way. So
true.
It all evens out usually. Just a matter of how long it takes to even out. So Mike gets out there and takes a 2-1 lead. So they are opening the new racks I just provided. Yeah, here we go. So they got a nice new magic rack to use, I believe.
Good, that's good. Yeah,
Oh,
I know
he
the
chose-
other. Oh, they're
he chose
using the
the outsole.
Aki rack. Yeah,
I said you guys.
that's the
should
one I
pick.
like.
Yeah, I like it. I prefer it more myself.
I like it for 9 ball. I like it, and they got an individual one for 9 ball and 10 ball. I know. I like it. I like using it. It's magic rack sometimes redirects balls if they start slow rolling around them.
You know why I really like using the outsole? Because you'd be shocked at how many players don't read that you load and push.
Yeah. Yep.
So they don't even rack correctly, and I do. So I might get great breaks, and they might not.
Right.
Just because they don't know how to properly rack with an outsole. Mm-hmm. They think it's like a magic rack where you set it and
just
forget
load it and forget it.
Yeah, no, there's a method to it.
Yeah.
So I think they're kind of forgetting about the score a little bit. Oh, there he goes. Okay.
Yeah. I know the score thing is new to both these guys, so I'll give them a little patience.
It looks like they're using the beads as well, so.
Yeah. Mike breaking from the side. Let's see if we can get a good break like he did last time.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Yeah, I liked what he did the first time he broke, so.
Yeah, he's going more for control, as in I think Kenny's going for the power. Kenny looked like he was going more for power.
I love that break. He's purposely like cut breaking a little bit to force the one ball short of the side and up to that corner.
Yep.
You're gonna see that that's the same thing I do, especially only with the magic rack.
Yeah.
Because it drives the one ball up there almost every single rack. It just never goes in the side. At worst, it falls in the corner, and then you're at the mercy of where the random two ball falls. But the two ball will usually go about up table where it is now on either side, depending on which side you break from. So I really like his breaking technique, game plan, whatever you want to call it so far. I think that could pay dividends, but the 4-9 looks in trouble here. Which you see with templates a lot. You'll see the 9 get locked up with a ball quite a bit with templates. That's definitely one of the downsides of it. It seems to happen a ton in 10 ball especially.
Yeah, it does a lot. I agree.
9 ball not so much, but a lot in 10 ball.
There's the diamond.
Yeah.
That's definitely the diamond. That goes in on a gold crown or a valley or anything. Anything else it goes in, but that's the diamond plan. For both players, it hasn't really been too graceful. So it's going to be tough to see if that goes past the 6 or not. Sure if it does or not.
Will Cook says, I like as many gaps as possible in 9 ball. Can you expand on that a little bit? Kind of curious what you mean by that.
Played a decent little safe.
Yeah?
I think Mike's going to have to come 2 rails into it.
The Z shot?
No, I like the 2 railer.
Top left corner?
Yeah.
Like
just going in between the chalk and the
side pocket.
Yeah, the chalk and the break cloth.
Oh, that high? No, I think you go more toward.
Well, no, with right. Yeah, you want to play with a lot of right.
I think you go right at the chalk with right, because you go chalk to the 3.
Yeah.
With right, chalk to 3, chalk to 3. Yep. And he might even spin by the 7.
How good he hit it!
Watch the 7 ball. Oh, well, that didn't catch as much, but
well, the 4 ball's tied, so
yeah, somebody must have nudged it because it wasn't laying like that. It was almost dead straight before. So that must have been nudged somehow, some way. Oh, so Will Cook says more gaps in the back of the rack. So that's usually makes the 9 ball fly. Is that your logic there? Is if you're playing wild 9, you want it to fly? Or you're saying you just want it off the spot so it doesn't cluster like it is now, basically? Probably what you meant? Or your point?
Take the wild 9 and watch it fly.
Mike Zugland always wanted to rack the 9 ball all the way in the back, where like the 2 balls traditionally racked, and make it wild. And he was going to call it the Let It Fly tournament or tour or whatever.
So Kenny just tried to play what it looked to me was a safe. I don't know if he underhit it or it looked like he might have gave up halfway through the stroke. I think he was I don't know if he was trying to duck behind the 8. Tough to tell.
So I don't know if that 4 ball passes to the corner or not.
It doesn't look like it from. If I was a gambler, I'd say it doesn't go.
Yeah, by his position, I would totally agree. Now I wonder
But
if
is
this
it wired?
no to where maybe the 9 off the 6.
Wired, yeah.
Yeah, I mean it's kind of risky because it's not a win.
I don't even know if it is.
Yeah, pretty wild. I'll say that. If you were to make the 9 off the 6 and in, but you don't win the rack. You just he's probably going to try to thin it and go behind the 6. And he just didn't thin it. He just whiffed. Or if he did thin it,
I think he hit it.
super thin.
Yeah, he definitely thinned it.
So I can't imagine.
Do you know if they're playing the 3 foul?
Yeah, I mean that's usually
think so, right?
pretty standard. But I don't know for sure. I'm just assuming, but I would assume. So is he gonna try to pocket that?
I think he's play it safe.
Yeah, he could. He could bank it and just like stop behind the 9. Oh no, it went. It went this whole time. So I'm surprised when Mike had a shot, he came this way instead of coming this way for position on that ball in the corner.
Yeah. Unless he just nudged it. When he nudged it and scratched, he might have made
Oh
it.
yeah,
He
right.
probably made it.
Yeah.
Made it so it went.
Yeah, you're right about that. I forgot that he nudged it. It was probably just enough to let it go in the corner. Guys, just give me 1 sec. Kenny is going to be leaving us to go play a match, and I have a replacement for us. So let me just go grab him, and I'll be back with you shortly. All right, guys, we're back. This is Lance Lisciotti, and I'm joined in the booth by Dan Usello. How you doing, Dan?
Yeah, not too bad. I've got a great match to watch here between Mike Ash and Kenny Jaramillo, and this is gonna be a real good one. Off to a 3-1 start, and I think folks out there in the gallery, and there's a lot of them, are starting to learn that this diamond is not forgiving. They're seeing a lot of rattles, and two folks that are used to running out aren't running out so much.
Yeah, this is definitely no Valley or even a Gold Crown 3, that's for sure.
Yeah, so I think once the players acclimate, they'll probably get a better feel for this. Diamonds bank short, right? Mike just found that out.
Yeah, I would expect around about maybe a total of 8 to 10 racks to be played, that you see the comfort level go up, and you'll see it in their play. It'll be reflective.
Now, as you know, Lance, the cloth is worn in now. It's not new. So, harder to pocket shots, harder to get around the 3 rails and all that.
Yeah, with how the cloth is very broken in right now, I'd say this table is playing as tough as it can with the pocket size and everything, and their standard pockets, 4.5.
But deep shelves.
But deep shelves, and you'll see a lot of balls hang up for sure. And, even players with strong strokes can struggle to muscle the cue ball around with big power draw strokes and power follow and stuff like that.
Yeah, Kenny didn't get a fortunate rub there off the 8 ball. He's going to probably have to go to the jump cue.
Yeah.
Now, they're jumping, correct?
It's allowed.
Okay.
So it looks like he's going to masse and probably get to there. Yep.
Just missed
Just missed. I think it was worth it, though, because had he had thinned the 3, it probably goes there, and the cue ball probably, loses a lot of that momentum and probably stays up table.
Yeah, gets safer on the 5 ball.
Yeah. That was a good point about the jumping. Breaking and jumping can be 2 huge advantages if one guy does it a lot better than the other. If one guy breaks from the wing and the other doesn't, huge advantage. If one guy jumps and the other guy doesn't, huge advantage.
Now, I couldn't find a Fargo rating for Mike Ash, but Kenny's rated at about a 550. And, based on playing, because I played against both these guys up at Snaps in East Windsor, and I'd say this is probably a pretty even race. At least on a 7-footer, it's an even race.
Yeah.
How this plays out in the 9-footer, we're about to find out.
Mike Ash comes in as a 509, but he only has 329 games of robustness.
That is him? Watertown, Mass?
Yeah,
okay.
it's just spelled incorrectly.
Spelled incorrectly. Gotcha.
Reason.
Okay.
But so we have like 509 versus 550, but even Kenny's is
with a J.
I got it.
You might do it as Roland.
I got it. It's 550 with only 56 games of robustness.
Right,
so
right,
neither one is established.
Right. It's essentially a clean slate for both these guys.
Yeah.
But they've been around. They're seasoned players, at least on the bar box scene. Hey, Jen K says, "Hey, Papicello, how you doing, mamacita? Hopefully you're having a good time watching this. Your sister Joss is in the gallery watching, as is Tim Hurley, another good shot in his own right. And actually, Tim Hurley is a Masters teammate of Mike Ash's. I'm sure he's pulling for Mike.
Yeah, I think that's a very fair statement. And Kenny brought some friends with him, too, so they both have a supportive corner, which is good to see.
Right. Yeah, Mike's a little unhappy that he got the rub on that 5. He wanted to go past it, but I don't mind this cut. If you make this cut, you come off that second rail exactly how you drew it. Take the extra rail. You're okay for the 6. Just make sure you're pocketing. That's the key here. Deep shelves.
These hang. If you touch the rail, I don't care if you touch the rail like even deep right there.
Right past the halfway point. First time.
Good luck. It's hanging. It's you gotta hit this one clean. Hanger.
Yeah, and you just called it. And that's something that they're probably not used to. They're used to that falling, so they're used to being able to cheat it.
Yeah.
And
he didn't have to do much work with the cue ball there. It was pretty much just pocket the ball with the correct speed.
Yep.
I think it was just a miss. I don't think he was trying to do too much with the cue ball. I think Now
here's the flip side. That's in a deep shelf. It's not easy to come off that 5 and get away from that point. Craig Eagles, my nemesis. Craig hates me. One day we're gonna find out why. But I'm kidding, of course. Craig Eagleson is the head of Eagle Lawn Services, a sponsor certainly here at Rack's Billiards and Bar.
Yeah, if anybody local needs fall cleanups and all that good, lawn cut and all that stuff, Craig does great work. Use him myself, and he's a great guy, does a great job, and even employs some other of our regulars.
That's
in
right.
Here, so it's
including a #1 contender, I think.
Yeah, so he's a community guy, and I'm always a big fan of supporting the community.
It pains me to say that he's actually a good dude.
Yeah,
God Almighty, I've got to go to church now.
So we got Casey Devine rooting for Mike.
Yeah.
And Kenny looking like he's going to get out here and make it a 3-2 deficit.
Yep, big shot here. Can't go down 4-1. I mean, you can, but, you don't want to be running uphill.
Yeah, race to 11 is not a super long race.
Right. It gets away from you quick.
Yeah, I like to break races into oh boy.
And that's the thing. You overjuice these things. You just got to let them roll in. Let it take the top spin and fall.
Yeah, that looks like it's going to be costly. And I'll tell you, that's a big rack, too.
Yeah, for sure.
3-2 or 4-1 in a race to 11, that's big.
Big rack. Yeah.
Mike takes advantage of that.
Center pocket. All right, so Mike Ash, 4-1 lead. Yeah, what do you think so far based on what you've seen? Somebody's body language looked better. Somebody looks a little more comfortable.
I'll tell you, I think Mike has made more unforced errors, but the errors Kenny has made have been way bigger because he gave Mike ball in hand on the 8, he gave him ball in hand on the 7, and he just missed that 9.
Right.
So, those 3 mistakes he made were he got punished.
Yeah.
And Mike has missed a couple balls. He missed a 9 and got punished as well. It goes back and forth, but I think Mike has made more, not only more unforced errors, but the correct way to say it, more excuse me for better language, but more brain fart.
Right, I know
errors,
what you mean. I know what you mean.
Like thinning a ball, not getting a rail, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Alan Blaze in the chat saying, Dan, you should go easy on Craig, please. Connected.
You got to ask Craig to go easy on me, buddy. Another shout out to Rob Slota, who's calling me Mr. Tilt, which is due to the fact that every time I lose a ranked bar box match, I normally open myself up to an open rank 1 hour later.
Which I think is a great method, personally.
Yeah, it gets me $60.
Well, it gets you action.
Yeah.
Guys always want to, if they're smart, they always want to jump on you when you see when they see a little weakness.
Right.
And I do the same thing. If I lose, especially on stream where people saw me play bad, I try to draw up action immediately. Right.
Yeah, the problem is I think Pete's getting sick of it, so he's starting to fill the slots ahead of me.
Right.
So the 9 o'clock was all filled up tonight. Although at 11, Rob, if you want to come down here and make an offer, Rob, that open rank could be you, buddy.
Yeah, he said what's.
If Rob is at the 123 spot or something like that.
Oh God, here we go.
And I'm at 6.
You might have to take a loan, Rob.
Yeah. You got to do a lot of tattoos, buddy. A lot of tattoos. All right. 3 to the 4. What do you think here? Just sort of stun it back into the middle.
Yeah, maybe a little low, based on how I think it lays. Maybe a little low left, and you come out to about here.
Yeah.
I mean, you'd like to get more like here to get straight on the 4, so you could follow up to about here with the cue ball.
Yeah. Just don't bring the 8 in play, right?
Yeah, you're gonna need an angle to go from the 5 to the 6, and it's kind of tricky. I mean, you have options depending on how you fall after the 4. Oh, he might have.
He evolved the 8. Yeah, he did.
Yeah. So he was worried about not getting far enough and sticking himself behind the 6. So he overcompensated a little and stuck himself behind the 8.
Tough leave for Mike here.
Yeah, this is
not an easy kick.
It sure isn't.
What are you going 2 rails to the right?
You could go.
Yeah, something like that.
Maybe.
You gotta go 3, maybe.
Like that. You could go something about like this with a lot of speed because it's hard to get a rail after all that movement.
on this table with the way that the rails aren't super super reactive. I'd hate to go long and try to get 3 out of it.
I'll tell you. Let's see. I would probably take a foul here and move some balls. I might bank the 7, like
Stick it
into
on
the
the
5.
Yeah, smart.
Or shoot the 8 into all these balls, and then he'll probably play a lockup safe, and you're on 2. But you live to see another day at least.
Yeah, Mike tried something similar to that. He wanted to lock up the 4-8.
Yeah, so he can pocket the 4 and the 5 in the bottom right, and the 6 still has a pocket and everything.
I fully. Well, you know what? If it's runnable, then it's runnable. But I
Yeah.
thought maybe Kenny might stick him behind the 6-8.
I think the out is the move here.
Yeah.
Because the safe would have led the 4 up table where you don't have anything else to hide behind to
Right.
get him on a 3rd foul. So if you're going to have to run out with ball in hand next shot and you have ball in hand now, you might as well just do it now.
Do it now. Yeah, it wasn't clear if the 4 went past the 8, but yeah, clearly
So
it did.
it looks like he's got a good angle here. He's got to be worried about the scratch in the side where he's shooting from. Oh, he missed it. So that might have been because of the side pocket scratch he was worried about.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You see mistakes happen when players have to focus that much more on the cue ball rather than the object ball.
Not the worst miss in the world. You know, Mike is going to have to be cognizant of that left-hand side pocket, and he's going to have to hit this pretty firm. Rob's not allowed to open rank me, so I could talk to Pete for you, Rob. You're a former champion. For crying out loud, we can't get you to.
If I'm not mistaken, I thought they just pushed through some new change that if you were on the list previously and you had some sort of qualification, which I know Rob has had because he's been a title champ, so I don't care what the qualification is, he's
got to be qualified.
That they said that if they come back on the list, that they don't need 10 matches to play. Did you not hear about that?
That's what I thought. We'll confirm that. We'll confirm that. But that's what I thought.
Or maybe it's not in effect yet.
There's something in the works, Rob. There's something in the works. So if that is indeed something you're thinking about, and if you've got a free $800 or whatever it is, maybe $750. We'll see what.
Cut him a discount.
That's right. You know, $5 a spot. That's a hefty distance.
So
Right.
Kenny's got a good chance here to get out. And
Now,
how did
he hit it? How did he hit it? He's gonna snug up on it. Oh boy.
Yeah, I'll tell you though. Let's take a look at the overhead because this could.
Is that going side?
It might be wired for the side here.
Yeah, if he hits down towards the bottom of this short rail, yeah.
He's playing all safe.
No, I think he's going for it.
No,
I think he's going for the side. No,
he can't with that
okay.
angle. And I'll tell you, I think that was the wise move there.
Yeah, safe's probably the wise move. He just hit it a little. Didn't give it enough power there.
Hey Lance, how you doing? Is it 9 foot right? How you doing, brother? Yes, it is a 9 foot standard Pro-Am blue label diamond, 4.5 inch pockets, shark gray, 860 Simonis on it. I forget the exact name of the Aramiths, but they're a set of very good, very popularly used Aramith balls. Pretty ideal conditions. If you were going to nitpick anything, you would just maybe ask for slightly newer cloth. That's about it. I personally like broken in cloth because I think I have an advantage of having a stronger stroke over most, but I think some players might, think that less broken in cloth is more ideal for them. We all have. Some people love brand new cloth. I hate it.
Right. Well,
I can't
the pocketing
stand it.
might be a touch easier though.
Oh, the pocketing's way easier, but your cue ball's a nightmare.
Right. Yeah, that's true. You're all over the place.
I'm a spin player.
Yeah.
Not that I want to be, but I'm just never in stroke enough to where I can just hit point after point after point. I fall 6 inches short or long, and then I gotta manipulate quite a bit, and I can't play like that on new cloth. It just doesn't. You need perfect pattern play, and you need to stay in line.
Right.
Because once you get out of line on new cloth, it's really difficult. But you can, like you said, it's pocketing balls is easier. You can settle for harder shots,
right?
Because they slop right in,
right. Especially with a deep shelf, though, it's hard with that worn in cloth, that broken in cloth.
Yeah, for sure.
These guys are struggling to, if you want to snap back 4 or 5 feet.
Yeah. With this one here, I think you just just pull back to like this general area with a nice 9 in the corner. It looks pretty comfortable.
Is he queuing up?
He does have to worry about a scratch in the side, but he should be able to stay below it. Oh, I missed it. So instead of hitting it like with a medium stroke and aggressively going after this rail and out.
Right.
He tried to just spin and slow roll.
Yeah, that side pocket bothered him.
Yeah, and I'll tell you, if he was going to shoot that shot, I'd rather him shoot it with a medium stroke and just come to here and out and settle for this 9-ball.
Yeah.
You know,
Take the longer cut. Yeah.
Well, anytime you slow spin, you bring a lot more variables into it.
Right.
It's, you know, when you spin with like a medium stroke that you shoot 1,000,000 times, you know how that spin's going to affect. The slower the stroke, the more variable on the spin. Right. It's that simple.
That's it. Kenny hit that 8-ball sweep, left himself a straight in 9. Big rack for Kenny.
Yeah. So I like to break a set into, you know, sections
or whatever.
Yeah. It's different based on the number usually. In a race to 11, I'm not I don't get nervous when I'm down a lot,
right?
Because I feel confident in my ability that if I do my job or hit a gear, I really don't care how much I'm down. I can keep you in your seat for the set. You know, not necessarily running out the whole set, but break and run, break, play safe, ball in hand, run out, break. You know what I mean? Just keep you in the chair.
Yeah, I'm not quite at that level, but
you're
I'm
pretty close, Dan.
But I try not to let the score get to me. You know, well, even today, about an hour ago, I was down 6-1.
Yeah,
fought back 8-7. We won't talk about how I dogged the win, but you know,
I'll tell you, I'm a numbers guy. I've played almost as much poker as I have pool, and that's all numbers and math. And I've been pretty successful over the years at poker, and I apply a lot of that statistical stuff towards pool. You know, risk reward. Should I get aggressive and go for the shot, or is the safety play the move? Right. You know, what has positive EV in the long run, stuff like that, which is all poker stuff. But it does apply to pool.
It applies here.
Yeah, sure does. It applies to a lot of things in life, believe it or not.
So Kenny hits a nice break, hits the wing ball into the corner, gets one more in the side, and he cannot see the 2, I don't think.
Yeah, you know, he could push, but I think this lay's good enough where you kick behind it, and you send the 2 to about here and here, and because you're hitting like the lower side of the 2, the cue ball should squirt this way.
He's pushing out.
Yeah,
he's pushing
I'm
out.
not in love with the push here, but I don't blame him. But
yeah, 7 balls on the table. He doesn't want to sell at the rack.
So now, if you're Mike, I mean, I don't like going in on the 2 all the way up in the top right. I like just banking it, basically the same type of shot. And, you know, you might not freeze them.
You don't fire that down the corner?
I don't know. I mean, if I feel like I'm hitting the ball great, sure.
Right.
I don't know. I fear that I hang it and the guy has 0 issues behind it. And with a 4-1 lead, which I believe has to be corrected to 4-2.
Actually, 4-2, yeah.
Yep.
Do we have control over that? Can we override them?
I can, but I almost don't want to. I'd rather them control it all. You know, I don't want to mark one, and then Kenny's like, "Oh, I forgot to mark 1, 4-3. I got to go out there." Sure. I'll just remind him again quick. And...
Sure, no problem. I'm in the booth. We've got them backing it up on the beads anyway, so folks in the gallery know that it's 4-2 Mike at this point. Mike's got a decision to make here. Does he go safe? Does he? And it looks like he's not going to fire in the corner. It looks like he's thinking maybe something a little more defensive. Is he going to kick off that rail first? He kicked off the rail. That's interesting. Boy, I'm not sure what his game plan was there.
Yeah, there's a replay. Let's take a look. He might have been playing that kick safe shot,
trying to get it behind that. Yeah, just hit too little of it, I guess.
So Kenny, I believe, went to the bathroom real quick, or the bar. I went out there and he wasn't at the table, and they were the spectators were aware that he hadn't marked a score yet and told them and said that they would alert him when he returns to the table. So.
Right. Mueller Jaramillo is rooting his brother on. Mueller, also his Masters partner as well. Let's talk about some of the stuff you've got going on here.
Not much lately, buddy. I've been trying to get a match. Trying to get a tournament, my next tournament date. But there's just a lot of stuff going on right now, and so I'm trying to do anything I can to help grow the tour, action matches. I got some JB cases on the way, and you know, trying to do what I can to grow, you know, regardless of what avenue it is.
Right. Well, from my standpoint, you're doing a great job with the Make a Score Tour. I'm real happy with the things you're doing. You've got tournaments in multiple venues. You've got big action matches here at Rax Billiards. Yeah, man. In a short period of time, you're doing real well.
I appreciate the support, brother. It's quite a bit of work, I'll be honest with you. People don't realize, especially running tournaments, how much work is behind a tournament. But I've always had a passion for pool, and you know, they say if you do something you love, it's not working, right? So
that's right.
But I do have some big things in plan. I mean, big. I can't.
Really?
Yeah, I can't disclose anything.
This is outside of the JB stuff.
Oh yeah, no, I'm talking events.
Okay.
And yeah, I can't talk about it yet, but about as big as it gets. That's all I'll say.
Wow. Well, I'm excited to hear about it. We'll hear about it soon enough, folks. And there's no shortage of big action matches that you've got lined up. And whether it's, you know, folks like John Dixon, Kevin Bourne, the two that we're seeing here tonight. I know Gaetani's involved in some of these, right? Yeah.
I will give you a little spoiler on action matches, not events that we were just talking about. Action matches. Right. I seen Feder at Yale. Right. I went and did some commentary that night. They had the pay-per-view, and I spent a little time with him. I got him for 100.
Did you?
Yeah, he's up on me lifetime by a lot, though. So the 100 is nothing. But anyways, yeah, I'm trying, along with Pete Brown, the owner of Rax here, we're potentially trying to get him here. He's got a little window where he's got some time, but we got to work some things out, and no guarantees or anything, but we are working hard to bring you guys some. I mean, it's not only pros, but arguably the best player in the world.
Right.
And Feder Gorst.
Now, is he going to be playing an action match for the Make a Score Tour against somebody whose name rhymes with Race and Raw? Is that no? Is that no?
I would love that, but to be honest with you, that's probably not going to happen.
That's not going to happen. Right?
It would most likely be against like Alex Bosch, in-house guy and up-and-comer, great player, great guy. Yeah. And
he taught me a couple things, whether I asked him to or not.
Yeah.
Now, Alex is taking off. You know, it's nice to be 20-something and be able to see the ball and all that.
Yeah, there's been some other names thrown around. Earl Strickland.
Oh, really? All right.
Or Jeremy Sosi playing one of these guys.
Right.
And, you know, it's not as easy as people think. Sure. These pros have very busy schedules. They're traveling all the time, and it's not cheap at all to get them in here to play and do whatever it is, trick shot exhibitions, challenge rats with autographs and stuff, and you know. But we're trying, and you know, it's complicated, you know.
It's the economics of pool, man.
Yeah, and it's a little different situation here, being that, you know, Pete's the owner here, and I'm trying to also be involved too. Right, so sure. You know, that kind of complicates things. But Pete's always been really great with me, and I appreciate him a lot.
Sure.
So.
Oh, he hit that. How did he hit it? Oh boy.
Oh boy. Okay, so you gotta love it if you're Kenny, right?
Yeah. I mean, you could see that once it came off that rail, but and Kenny's, you know, sort of licking his lips. This is gonna bring him right back into it.
Yeah, for sure.
5-2 and 4-3 again. We keep talking about it, and the longer the race goes, the more that matters. All right, there we go. Pulls into 4-3.
All right, guys. We had a quick word from one of our guys, Josh Steele, a New York local, and played in a lot of our New England events here.
He got me in your latest Make a Score Tour.
Did he?
Yeah, he got me 5-3. Yeah.
That was here at Yale.
That was at Yale. Yeah.
So Dan, if you don't mind me asking, you've played in a couple of my events. Do you have any form? I'm always looking for feedback, positive or negative. Do you have any? We'll start with positive feedback about any formats that you particularly like, that you think are better, that your favorite perhaps.
No, I like that you mix it up. I like that you have some of the handicap type stuff where people feel like they could take a shot at the 700 750s of the world.
Right.
And but I also like that you have the straight up go beat them, but we'll charge you a little less.
Right.
Right. I mean, I like both of those philosophies.
Yep.
And I think it helps to involve the up and coming player.
Right.
And you don't have to worry about getting destroyed by people who are semi-pro, pro.
Yeah. My thought process behind it is, I'll come out with a format, and a couple people will message me and say, basically, I don't like your format, and I'm not playing. Like, nicely, but that, to summarize it, basically, And then my response is always, listen, I understand, not every format's for everybody, but I promise you, I will have a format that's right up your alley. Right. Because it doesn't matter if you're a super strong amateur or a super weak amateur, an open event favors the super strong. And R5 hot on valleys especially favors the low guy. I mean, it's hard to say it favors it, because Fargo states that even in hot races, it's as close to 50-50 as possible, but if it can't get 50-50, the higher ranked player is supposed to have even a slight theoretical advantage.
Right.
But they don't take into account that it's valleys, and they don't take into account a ton of things that I think they should. Like you're aware of the Tuesday night tournament here.
Yep.
It's race to 3 9-ball on valleys, alternate break, and that's basically what my Fargo is yeah, that's all I really have been playing for the past couple of years. And even if I do go to a major event,
look how he hit it! Wow. Did he get it?
Hit that
good.
Let's see a replay on that one.
Let's see a replay. Yeah, man, it's unfortunate that he can't see the 5, but good God, he hit that nice.
Yeah, so he made the bank. He played the bank so he could bring that cue ball down table for the 5, which was a clever shot. But hitting the 7 so full stopped him in about the worst spot he could have landed.
Yeah. Now, but getting back to that 9-ball tournament that Pete hosts here at Rax on Tuesday nights.
Yeah.
I mean, you do really well to. Let me tell you, folks. Race to 3 9-ball on a valley. If folks think that it's easy to win week in, week out, it's not.
Yeah, it's I've lost matches literally where my opponent might have made one ball. And it's because I, made the 8 and scratch, conceded a 9, missed hung a 9, conceded it.
Right.
And then, I play a safe and it sells out and they play a 3-9 combo or something goofy.
And to have your Fargo based, let's say majority of the racks that you're playing that are Fargo rated are coming out of that tournament.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, for you to still have a really high, what are you, 675, 680 by then?
Somewhere in the 670s, I believe. For
you to still maintain that with all the, and listen, there's some killers here, man. Lucas plays in that tournament.
Yeah,
Steve Mack plays in that tournament. Alex will drop in every now and then. Alex Bausch.
Ty
Speedwell sometimes.
Yeah.
And we've got a host of players that are in between, let's say, 550 and 615.
Yeah, which on a race of 3 can bury me. Not only beat me. I mean, they can beat me 3-0, like no problem.
Right. So it's for you to maintain that Fargo rating in that tournament primarily, man, that's pretty good.
The tough part of it is, like I said earlier, I'm a numbers guy. I love the Fargo number aspect of looking at performance for your tournament and all that stuff and stats of racks won loss and all that. But what frustrates me is I'll play like a 530, which is very capable of breaking and running on these tables.
Yep.
Happens to me all the time.
Sure.
And I'll play perfect, and they'll break and run once because it's alternate break, so it got taken away from me. And I'll beat them 3-1, and my performance will be like a 565. Right. Where I'm 100 points under, and I'm the only way for me to not be 100 under is to win 3-0. I mean, that's really tough.
And the pressure is there,
I don't care about the pressure, but
Well, I mean, if you care about the Fargo number,
Yeah, I really don't care.
and that's the night, and that's probably why you have a good one.
Yeah,
right?
that's probably
honestly.
true. If I was playing to try to pump it up, I'd probably dog it.
Right.
Yeah, I'd be like, oh man, I got to shut him out 3-0.
Yeah, Brian Palacio on the stream, and he's one of those killers too that comes every now and again to the Tuesday night tournament.
Yeah, do you remember when he beat Jose Soto and Alberto Delgado, 2 Spanish pros?
Right.
And we're not talking weak pros either. We're talking Delgado was like the coach, not only a champion himself, but like a coach of something.
I think he's the coach of the Spanish national team.
Yeah, exactly. I think that is what it is. And then the other one, Jonas Soto, he's been tearing it up. He got what did he do?
What did he just win? He just won a tournament, didn't he?
Yeah, but he even went I think he got super deep. Well, he did get deep in a smaller tournament here. I think it was the Courage Classic or whatever. But for main tournaments, I think he got second in maybe even the McDermott Classic last year or something very big.
Something big.
Not an amateur tournament,
And Jonas, he's young too. He's probably 22.
Yeah, he is young. I'm not sure his age, but I
think he just picked up a new. McDermott is his sponsor now, isn't it?
Yeah, and coincidentally, which I think is no surprise, Bobby Hilton and Yale Billiards have now changed from Viking to McDermott as well.
Have they really? Okay.
Yeah, that happened maybe a week ago or so.
Interesting stuff. All right, big shot here from Kenny on the 8 ball.
Alan Blaze. Alan Blaze.
Ooh, that's a nice shot by Kenny Jaramillo.
I'll tell you. Here's a good example. Alan Blaze. Not sure of his Fargo off the top of my head.
Probably 12.
Yeah. I would guess probably mid 550-ish, somewhere around there.
I kid, Alan. I kid.
But he should have beat me 3-0 the other night.
Yeah.
I believe he broke and ran a rack.
Yep.
And
he had you down 2-0, right?
Yeah, he had me down 2-0. And I ended up winning 3 in a row, but he should have beat me 3-0. And, I think I don't care what anybody says. It's a thing that, and I'm not saying people are intimidated of me, but there are some people that
it's an Italian thing. No, I get it.
I know how exactly. It's not just people are intimidated of me.
Right.
When I play world champions, you don't think
Sure.
I'm a little. You don't think when I played Earl Strickland here, the exhibition match, that I'm feeling a little.
I played that one rack thing against Allison Fisher.
Yeah.
'Cause I've been seeing her since the 90s, right?
Right.
And I played that one rack. I got one chance, right?
Yeah.
I looked miserable.
You look.
You
feel it.
I looked
right?
like I never picked up a stick in my life.
Yeah.
And that's and I'm sure Allison knew that,
Yeah.
right? And I'm sure that Strickland knows that, and I'm sure that a lot of these guys know
Right.
that.
I've talked to Kevin Bourne. So Kevin Bourne was the title champ for a while. And
Right, sure. Yep.
we had a brief conversation one night. He said, all of a sudden I became the champ, and people are just dogging it against me left and right.
Right.
And he said, that he used to kind of feel like that against me sometimes, that he just couldn't play his normal game,
Right.
And I totally understand. I've done it myself. We've all done it.
Sure.
We feel a little intimidated. We feel like if we make the slightest mistake,
This guy's gonna kill us.
Right.
Yeah.
It's a part of the game. It's a part of the mental side of the game for sure. But let's get back to the match here. Right. Kenny Hoke, in the stream. Thanks, buddy.
Incredible Hoke.
Guys, let's get that little guy jumping in the corner here. Please like and share. Send a donation if you can, but if you can't, a like and a share would be very much appreciated.
Honestly, folks, Lance, in a very short period of time with the Make a Score Tour, has done some really cool things and bigger things to come. Really impressive. Honestly, I'm happy to even be in the booth, being a part of it.
I appreciate you, Dan. And if anybody could think of anything I'm not doing that they would like, I'm always open for suggestions. If there's something I'm doing that you don't like, I would love constructive criticism. I'm never going to hold a grudge because you don't like something I do. I want positive and negative feedback. I don't care what the event is. I want you guys, the players, the viewers, to be happy. That's my goal here.
And I just gave Lance a golden idea. Golden.
Yeah.
And
yeah,
it's only because I'm an old fart. But a golden idea. Hopefully he takes me up on it. Yeah. I'm not going to ruin it, but we'll see where that goes.
I'll tell you this, I'm definitely going to...
You're going to do it?
I'm going to follow up on it.
All right, good.
The only thing that's going to stop it is the players, I'll tell you
that. The players,
that.
yeah.
And I don't see either one stopping it, to be honest, but we'll see.
Do you think both will be into it?
I know one for sure. There's one that I'm not 100% on, but we'll see.
Okay.
I think he will. We'll see.
Why not? We could find another person to swap in if we need to.
Yeah.
That's not a small list.
No. But I'll tell you, that matchup I really
Yeah,
like.
I like that, right?
Yeah, I do.
Is there any? Well, I don't want to ruin it.
Yeah, let's just get off
Yeah,
that.
I don't
Let's
want to
get
ruin
off
it. Let's get back to this match. So mentally, right? If you're Mike Ash, you're up 4-1. Now Kenny's battled back 4-4. How you feeling? What are you thinking? How are you preparing?
Well, yeah, it's a tough question. I wouldn't feel intimidated because he hasn't like run out from nowhere,
Right.
and you know they've both made some early mistakes that I would think is more nerves than anything.
Sure.
So I'd feel comfortable there. I would just say, you know what? I've made some uncharacteristic mistakes, and it's 4-4 and even race to 7, and I just got to bear down and do my job.
Yep.
You know.
Yep.
I try not to, when I'm playing, I try to keep my mind blank as much as I can. You know, I veer off and look at the TV a little. I watch the table next to me.
Nice save.
I try to stay as relaxed as possible, and it's easier said than done, that's for sure. But
I think the other thing too, there's an element here that I don't have the pulse on, to be fair, but these guys play against each other a lot. Now they play on 2 different Masters teams up at Snaps in East Windsor, and these guys are no strangers to each other. I'm sure that's actually how the money match came about, right?
yeah, well, Kenny Hoke and I were talking earlier about that, and I was saying I didn't see this match coming. Kenny had messaged me basically saying, me and Mike want to play, these are our terms, can we do it?
Right.
I mean, I love when guys do that too. They make
Right.
my life so simple. And of course I said, yeah, just give me a date, let's go. And but yeah, I was surprised about the matchup. Only because as far as I don't have much knowledge on either player.
Right.
I know both of them, but not extensively. But what I do know of Kenny is, like you said, snaps.
Yep.
So when I hear about 7-foot Valley mainly wanting to play a guy on a 9-foot diamond,
Right.
to me, red flags.
Sure.
I think to myself, and he's 41 points lower of a Fargo.
Sure.
So to me,
Unestablished, but
Yeah, but still, like-
I know what you mean.
they both know that. They both
Right.
have seen their Fargos and
Right.
knew each other's. So I had, with very little information, I had kind of like a gut feeling that Kenny somehow, some way, maybe had a slight best of it, 55-45 type of thing.
Sure.
But I mean, that means nothing when nerves come into play. You know, they both look equal to me so far. Like
Sure.
I said earlier, I think Mike had made a couple bit more unforced errors, but the ones Kenny made were bigger.
Right.
So, you know, I still think straight coin flip from here. I think it's just good old fashioned gambling.
Yeah. I mean, so for folks in the stream that have seen these guys go at it more often than not, you know, if you think that there's a favorite, feel free to put that in the stream. Tell us who you got. You know, who you think's going to win, how much you think they're going to win by. I can tell you, I played against both players. Played against both up at Snaps. I've actually played against Kenny over at Buckland in Manchester.
Yeah.
Both tough players.
But you see what I'm saying? Both locations, 7-foot valleys.
Yes.
Now, I don't know Mike's homeroom, but I believe he's a Massachusetts guy.
Yeah.
And I would have to guess it's Ivory, which is mainly 9-footers.
It's either Ivory or Snaps. Yeah.
So I would assume that Mike's got considerably more 9-foot. I don't even care if it's Gold Crown 3, but 9-foot play. Right? I mean, I mean, it sounds logical to me.
Yeah,
But
I don't know how much Kenny gets out to the 9-footers. Cliff Tyler with an idea. He wants to see all around with 3 different disciplines. So now I'm assuming, what are we talking, Cliff? Are we talking 8-ball, 9-ball, 10-ball, or are we talking?
Sounds like bar box.
Yeah, kind of like the bar box sort of setup that Rax has.
So I was actually when I first was starting to put action matches together, and a bunch of players were messaging me with interest. I had Ryan McCreesh and Steve Mack locked up.
Ooh.
They were going to play 9-ball, 8-ball, 10-ball, 1 pocket, and last pocket 8-ball. They were going to play one set of 5 different games. I think they were going to bet 300 to 500 a set, something right around those lines. and one of Ryan had some stuff going on, and he basically said, I'll get back to you in the future. And he's always looking for action. I think maybe the long ride from New York.
He's out of New York, right? Yeah.
And I believe he's upstate somewhere. I'm not sure. He could be in the city, but I'm pretty sure he's upstate.
Ooh, he's called the bank. He's called the bank. You know what? That makes sense. That cut looks really, from the overhead, looks really rough. He's calling the bank.
Yeah, I don't blame him. There is a potential scratch. 2 rails.
Yeah, let's get that drawing tool up and see what that looks like. The mind of Lance here.
There is a potential scratch. 2 rails in the side.
Okay.
I think if he uses right hand... Oh, okay, yep. So I think if he uses... Yeah, I don't know. This is tough to say, but that scratch is definitely going to be in play.
Yep.
I don't know if it goes high or low, but I kind of think it'll go low if he avoids the scratch. But we're about to find out.
And then we'll get back to Cliff's comment in a second. Did he hit it?
He missed it.
He missed it. How did he end up?
Not terrible.
Not terrible. I think Mike's still the favorite to make it, but it's not a 90%er.
Yeah, he needed a little bit more right-hand English to throw that 9. And
it's not a 90%er. Mike is the favorite to make it, but. And then we'll get back to Cliff's comment about one rotation game, 8-ball, and then one of the old school games like straight pool, or maybe one pocket or banks.
Yeah, I really like stuff like that.
How did he hit it?
Good, great.
Center pocket. Well done, Mike Ash. You can hear the gallery clapping through the door.
Yeah.
There's probably about, 15 folks. Ooh, Rob Slota. 8-ball, 10-ball straight pool. You know, Rob and I, we do want to get that straight pool match on Make a Score.
Yeah, you guys are line it up, message me. And
yeah, we're just going to sort out the timing and all of that.
Yep.
And I'll embarrass myself, and Rob can claim victory. That's all. That's fine.
So, chat, just so you're aware, if you do have interest in playing a Make a Score Tour match, you don't have to find an opponent and structure everything and message me. You could simply message me and say, hey, I'm a 5 blah 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 Fargo, and I would like to play a set. If you could find me an opponent, and I'll do my best to find you an opponent, and you guys iron out, what you want to play, what you want to bet, this and that. Now, I will give you guys fair warning. I am going to be thinking about restrictions on, what requirements are needed to play these matches. I don't make any money doing this. I get a couple donations every once in a while, but, it's hard to spend 6 hours in a booth. I do it to grow the tour.
Right.
So, no offense to any lower ranked players, but if I get 400 Fargos that want to play a 6-hour battle, that's work. You know what I mean?
It's a part-time job.
Yeah.
Honest to God, for no pay.
People would have, they wouldn't believe me if I told them how many hours I have in this. Right. I mean, it's
honestly,
really...
you do it because you love it. And
well, I take pride in any business I do. I take pride in what I do. And some guys had said to me, "Oh, maybe you should do this, and you can make a little something, this and that." And I'm more worried about the product, because as long as I provide the right product, the money will come eventually. I don't need it right now. I mean, it'd be great, but I really just want to build up and show you guys this is the product, and hopefully the sponsors come with it, and the payouts get bigger, and it's just the business model I think is the best route for me, at least, and the tour. But
and the reason I appreciate it is it's adding more tours into the yearly calendar.
Yeah.
You're adding more money into the game of pool, which desperately needs it. Let's be honest about it.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you.
It's hard to fathom, but there was more money in pool in the 80s than there is now.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Guys were playing 500 a rack back then like it was nothing.
And there was inflation. I mean, 500 was 500 back then.
Yeah. The hotel room was 14. Well, not 14, but, 30 bucks or something. Yeah. And gas was what, 89 cents a gallon or something.
So, I mean, really, there was more. Ooh, that's a tough miss by Mike. But there was more money in pool 50 years ago, 40 years ago than there is now.
They say the cost of traveling is really what killed the road player. Okay. I mean, and the internet, for sure. But first it was the higher cost of travel, and then when the internet came, it was really the dagger.
Now, having said that, the internet and pool together really just got us through the freaking COVID pandemic. I mean,
For sure.
I can't say that word on. Hopefully, I cleaned it up. But yeah, I mean, and I think that pool had a resurgence through COVID.
Yeah.
And I hate to say that there's something good about a pandemic, but if there was anything good, it was the fact that pool came back.
Yeah, I agree.
And now you've got the fights between Matchroom and all this other stuff.
Yeah.
And, I mean, I'd like to see some sort of unified body get together and get the money back in the game, but we'll see. We'll see how this goes.
Yeah, I don't want to really get too much into that whole WPA, WNT, and all that. But all I'll say is, I'd really like to see a players' union get developed immediately, because anytime you have one governing body ruling everything, it's a very slippery slope, and that's all I'm going to say about that.
Sure. Now, he might have got away with this, Kenny did.
It's going to end up being like the Teamsters union.
Right.
It's just, you know how it goes.
Jimmy Hoffa.
Yeah, right.
Hey, our people know the docs.
Yeah, I'll tell you, if you guys need somebody, I'm available. I delegate with the best of them.
Well, Scotty and Usello, that sounds like a law firm.
Yeah.
We're going to be in good shape.
Listen, you're going to be the front man.
Yeah,
All
yeah,
right? AKA the fall guy.
Yeah, I'm the Don King of this whole thing. Yeah, that's the with no hair.
All right, so back to the match here. Mike has a 5-4 lead, and he's in pretty good line here.
Yeah.
Looks, he's got to pick.
Would you take the extra rail off? Yeah,
I think he had to.
Yeah, I mean, it's the right idea, but yeah, I gotta focusing on pocketing on these pockets, man. It's everything.
I'll tell you, not a bad miss.
Yeah, he got away with it.
Yeah, I mean, he probably gave up a look, but the 6 doesn't go, and good luck with the cue ball being pretty close to the rail like that.
You just trying to put this into the pocket and see what you can do with the 6 for a safe, or are you trying to play safe here?
He looks like he's jacking it. Oh no, he had to. Okay, so he had to swerve. Yeah. So that's 6 ball.
Weesh. Yeah.
Looks like it's got a couple options here. It looks like it goes to the side, and it looks like it goes to. Let's see. It looks like it goes to the side.
Yeah.
Looks like it may go to the corner.
Possibly,
I don't know if it goes here.
No,
that's pretty close.
Yeah, I would say no.
I don't think it goes here. He could make the 5 and come back to here for a bank on the 6. What else could he do? He could go back and forth, maybe for the 6 here.
Yeah, that corner looks like it's available. It's kind of funny when I'm thinking about this 6-9. I'm looking at this and saying, can I get to a position on the, let's say, top of our screen where I can hit the 6 and roll right up on the 9?
Oh, it's for a safe?
For a safe.
You know, like maybe like here?
Somewhere in that area.
Like here, and you push the 6 there, and you just,
and just roll up on it.
Yeah.
Now, you leave the 1 rail bank and all that, but if you can roll up good on that 9 and get yourself back into it. Oh, he was going for it all.
He's gonna.
And he's gonna free it up too, isn't he?
He's gonna sell out and free him up. So that's about worst case scenario for Mike there.
All right, so Kenny's got a real opportunity here to tie it up. Just got to be mindful of his speed.
Hit that ball good.
Hit good, yeah. Stay off the rail, and he's in good shape.
Yeah, this just became about 70% harder than he would have liked.
Right.
Now, lucky for him, the 8 lays pretty good, where you shouldn't have to do too much. So some players will roll this in, and some will go the extra rail and out.
Yeah.
I think, without a doubt, going the extra rail and out, going 2 rails and out is the move.
Yeah.
When you slow roll, you have to trust the table, which I never want to do. I don't care if it's a diamond. I don't care what it is. I don't want to have to trust the table. And you have choices. If you don't, sometimes you have to slow roll whether you like it or not. Here, you have a choice. Now, the angle can be deceiving sometimes. See, like, that angle is deceiving. That wasn't a slow roll to me.
Right.
That was more like medium.
Sure.
And I still think he would have been better off with a little bit more going to the right long rail and back out. But this is totally
This is
acceptable.
workable. I mean,
yeah.
if you hit this with medium speed, you're going 2 rails and coming back for the 9.
Yeah. Now, do you put left on it for the 9 in the
I
bottom
put
left?
a touch of left, but I mean,
Because
I want to shorten that angle. You know what I mean?
He could hit it flat to come here, or he could spin
Yeah.
it and go here.
I like the second choice.
Me too. I do too. And that left-hand spin throws the 8 to the right and helps pocket it. He went flat. He went for, well, maybe he did mean to come out like that.
And I think, well, the problem there is that if you're trying to hit it with a lot of spin and slow, you don't know when it bites.
Yeah, true.
And that's what it looked like to me, is that he put a ton of juice on it, but a ton of spin on it, but hit it slow. I'd rather hit that a little more firm with a little less spin.
Jose Concepcion in the chat. What's up, brother? Thanks for tuning in. Got it, good. Oh boy.
Oh, he's worried about overrolling on the 9.
Yeah.
And on that ball, you just got to pocket and take whatever medicine you get.
So we're seeing both players with a lot of late game mistakes, whether it's scratch or hanging a ball. Yeah, look at this.
Look at this, and he's gonna scratch, isn't he?
Yeah, I think that's gonna touch
is it
the
gonna
rail.
hold up?
Yeah.
Okay, it's gonna hold up.
Now let's see.
Honestly, this happens to me every now and again. I try not to let it, but when you're struggling to pocket on a table like this, everything the pockets become smaller. Everything feels harder. And I don't know. In matches like that, I try to play a little more defensive, try to work myself back into the game. But
I'll tell you, watch this 9 ball off the second rail.
And it
See how it kind of reversed?
Bites in. Yeah, it just bites in.
That had a strange little bounce to it. But I'll tell you, this is no hanger.
No,
I wouldn't bet 50 even money on this. I'll tell you that.
No.
Maybe on a gold crown 3, a bucket gold crown,
Sure.
I might, but not on this table.
Big shot here.
Yeah, I mean, I think he put a pretty good stroke on it, but he missed it, and I mean, it wasn't easy.
Now, luckily for Mike, it got past the side pocket. It's going to force Kenny to bear down.
Yeah, and I'll tell you, this is one of those 9s where typically if you miss it, it hangs. You know, you'll see players just rub the rail a hair, like right here, and it
it's
just
too much.
it just hangs.
Yep.
I mean, you really got to hit this one clean.
It's for folks that are just used to playing on gold crowns. It's hard to describe this table.
Yeah. Now, if that 9, if I'm him, I'd rather that 9 be like here.
Right.
Because you can start rubbing the rail and it goes in.
And it still goes in,
But with
right.
it being right there, you really just can't touch the rail. It is a bigger pocket, but okay.
Hit it good.
Great shot.
Hit it good.
And just like that, 5-5.
Folks in the chat, who do you got? What do you think? What do you think's going to happen here? We got 5-5. It's a race to 6, effectively.
Yeah, and about the halfway point, so they might be asking for a player break. Looks like they're talking about something.
I think you're right. This might be a player break.
Yeah, I'm going to go ask them real quick. I'll be right back.
Sure.
Chat.
Sure. All right, folks at home, hopefully you're enjoying this Make a Score Tour action match between Kenny Jaramillo and Mike Ash. Let us know in the chat what you think's going to happen from here on in. I think it's taken a while for both players to sort of get into the groove here. It's an even race. They still have to update the score. And I think that's what Kenny's going to do right now. Yeah, both players just trying to develop some sort of comfort level. Lance is going to check on whether or not they're going to take a player break or not. We'll get right back to you. All right, so what do we got for verdict?
Who was it that let Mike was just hitting the head real quick.
Sure.
But they did tell me that I believe after this rack they do plan on taking a short break. You know, if they're about the halfway point, so that makes perfect sense.
That gives us a chance to get a little refreshment from the bar area. And folks, if you're in the area of Vernon, come on down to Rack's Billiards and Bar. Great selection of food and drink. And join the what is now essentially a 15-person gallery.
Yeah, great crowd tonight. packed place tonight. Good atmosphere. A lot of good regulars around. Both guys have a supportive team behind them.
The Make a Score tour. You're still working on the next. Oh, Jen says have a bet for you. I will, and I'll play some freestyle music for you, Jen, if that's good. Yeah, we'll talk to Lance a little bit later about the Make a Score tour tournament calendar. Let's say. Hopefully something good is coming up soon. Nick Samara says Mike Ash 11-9. That's what he's thinking. Yeah, I can't argue that, Nick. I can't argue that. Although I will say, at 4-1, Kenny could have folded like origami, and he came right back. It's 5-5. If anybody has the momentum, I'd say it's in Kenny's direction. Oh, as soon as that's the commentator's curse.
Yeah,
Look at that.
Look
at that. I got him. That's on me. You know, I owe Kenny a beer. God Almighty. Yeah. So Make a Score tour. Calendar. Do we have any calendar upcoming events, or are you still working on things?
So I'll tell you, I really want to do a calendar like for the whole year.
Right.
But I'm still inexperienced at this.
Sure.
I've ran 4 tournaments and I haven't had a single big mistake. Eventually I will run into a mistake. I'm human just like everybody else. But for right now, I've had 4 tournaments. They've all been great.
Yeah.
I've had a bunch of action matches. I'm happy with that. What was your question?
Yeah.
So, yeah, as far as the calendar goes, right now I do a tournament, and then as soon as I wrap it up, I try to have schedule a tournament for about 45 days later, so that I can have roughly 8 per year. But I think I said it to Kenny earlier, maybe you, but there's so many people doing tournaments right now, and then I have to be conscious of. I look out for local APA.
Sure.
Mike DeMarco, Bo Powers,
Holiday schedule.
Mark Dion,
Sure.
Holidays.
Sure.
Pete Brown has a lot of his own events in-house here.
Right. CT Valley's coming up soon.
Right. Now, like I was saying earlier, the product I deliver is more important to me than anything.
Right.
I could very easily, I'm not going to name pool rooms, but I could very easily reach out to a bunch of other pool rooms and have a tournament there, but it's not at the quality that I want.
It to be. Sure.
It's that simple. I want a live stream every time. I know I can't provide commentary every single time, but
Sure.
I always go early in the tournament when I have my hands full. I always go around to guys that I know do good commentary and say, hey, if you want to jump in the booth, go ahead, blah, blah, blah. Or if a guy gets knocked out, I'll pay the guy. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Like I try to be as fair as I can with everybody.
Sure.
And that's where help from the community comes along. Everybody that has helped, whether it's Calcutta, photography, commentary, whatever, I pay everybody.
Sure.
Whether I'm getting paid or not, I do what I have to do. Everybody deserves to be paid for their time. And
well, I'll tell you what, I like what you're doing to try to grow the game. And if I'm ever knocked out of the tournament and I'm still in the building and you need some commentary, and if folks can stand my voice and can stand what I'm talking about, I'll do it for free.
I really appreciate you, Dan, because I think you do excellent commentary. You were the first person I asked tonight.
Right, yeah.
And I'll tell you, there's people that I think do a poor job. It's just like anything. Some people are good at it. Some people get too loose with their mouth.
Sure.
And
Sure.
I'm trying to be as professional as possible
Sure.
here. I'm trying to attract sponsors, and I just want things done the right way. And I know you are a very stand-up, professional, polite guy, and you're right up my alley for exactly how I want the product to be presented.
Yeah.
Casey Devine says, I'm waiting to get paid for watching. Well, I'll tell you, buddy, send a big donation in and I'll kick you something back. Find me a big sponsor, I'll kick you something back. I'm Italian.
That's right, yeah. That's right.
Grease wheels with the best of them.
You do something for me and then he'll make you an offer you can't refuse.
Right. I've always been a fan of working together, making money together. I've always been a firm believer in working together will get you farther. It might not be as profitable or this or that or whatever, but you get what you give,
right.
And
when the product's better, people care more about it.
Yeah.
Jen Case, thank you so much for the nice words. Papicello's the best. I appreciate that. And I was a little bit broken up that the timing just wasn't right, that I couldn't help out in the Palmer Bird Cup as much as I wanted to. I think I only did a couple hours worth. Alan Blaze, we don't pay attention to you. Alan Blaze, you are who you are. Casey, that's right. Casey Devine did sponsor.
Yeah,
that's correct.
Yeah, I appreciate that. That is very appreciated, Casey. I definitely appreciate it. But keep in mind that is not Make a Score Tour. That is Rax Billiards. So,
He's saying,
I've sponsored a lot of people too.
He's saying, you put the money in the wrong hand, Casey. You might have put
anything that goes to Scotty Cup, I almost feel like it went towards whatever I'm doing anyways.
Sure.
But
if it's got your last name, what are you going to do?
Right.
Right. Tony Blaze, Tony the Tiger, thinks that we should hire a clown to kick players in the butt for missing.
Are you available, Tony?
Yeah, because I can't think of a better clown than you, my friend.
My girl Sarah Sweeney in the chat. What's up, babe?
Oh, hey, Sarah. How's it going? And Sarah's been really supportive as well. I know that.
Yeah, she was very supportive. Great girl. Lucky to have her.
Yeah, she's all right no matter what you say about her, Lance.
Yeah.
How did he hit it? Yeah, tough shot. Tough shot. He's trying to hold for the 7.
Yeah. So Kenny got a great chance here. He's got it's not a hanger to make it, but it carries position.
Sure. A couple rails around.
Look at this comment.
Sarah Sweeney wondering if knee slaps can be heard through the mic. And for folks that don't know, I have to go through the 5 stages of grief every time I miss a shot. And the anger stage is followed by a slap to my leg, whether it's left leg or right leg. I try to put a couple wallets in there so I can dampen the blow. But yeah, I don't know if they can be picked up on the mic though, Sarah.
I'll tell you, a bunch of us were talking about players' tendencies, like unique things that people do. And the knee slap came up. They were like, how about Dan? Every time he misses a ball, he'll slap the knee.
I gotta let the emotion go somewhere.
Well, I'll tell you, Dan, it's better than I see a lot of people smacking their shaft on the table.
Yeah, no, I pay money for that shit.
Yeah.
Oops, I'm sorry.
It's okay. We all slip. No worries, brother. But I had a bad temper when I was young.
Yeah.
I had the same cue I have now. I've had over 20 years. And
wow.
The bottom is ivory.
Okay.
And I'd miss a ball, and I would firmly hit the butt of the cue on the ground, and it broke the ivory butt 3 times at 300 a pop.
Really?
So I had Drexler do ivorine. Oh, look at this.
Oh, man.
So these late mistakes in the rack are really starting to catch up on Mike here. I mean, Kenny has made some as well, but Mike is...
But Mike has been the one that's been worse for the wear, and I'll tell you, the momentum has shifted.
Yeah, I agree.
4-1 to what is looking like it's about to be 6-5 the other way.
Yeah. Just to wrap up that quick Ivory Drexler butt thing, and so I had him do ivorine.
Okay.
And I eventually grew up and got rid of my bad temper.
Right.
And then I had him remove the ivorine and put it back to ivory.
Okay.
And I've never broken it. That was like over 10 years ago, and I've never broken it. So.
And Drexler, that's not a cheap cue.
Well, it was just the bottom ivory.
Part.
Okay. When I whacked it on the ground, it shattered.
Okay.
Ivory so
and so you had him repair it, but it was somebody else's cue.
No, it was my cue. It was a Russ Espirito. It's the same cue I use now. He was just doing the work.
Gotcha.
And I actually had, it was originally a brain dead 516-14. No, what's the stainless steel pin? 516-14.
516 sounds right.
I think it's 516-14. The old standard stainless steel pin that everybody used. Every cue had it.
Right.
I had that replaced with an ivory 3/8-10.
Right.
And I also went from a 29-inch maple to a 30-inch Predator low deflection.
Okay.
The whole cue was different. The joint was different. The shaft was longer. It was low deflection. I almost gave up pool.
Right.
It took like 2-3 months to. It was torture for a while, but I'm 516-14. I did have it right. Thank you, Casey. It's been so long ago.
Rob says, "Yeah, Lance, same in his Sean cue."
Yeah. That was the literally every cue when I was growing up, like 98% was 5/16/14, and the other one was the other stainless steel. I think it was a longer pin with more threads. It was it was something with 5/18/14.
But that was
or
a standard joint either way.
Yeah. Everybody used stainless steel. Everybody. You still see some of the pros from back in the day that still use it. You know, like Earl. I'm not sure what he's using, but he's probably still using the stainless steel joint. And,
Okay, Casey just said 5/16/18.
Yeah, that's the other one. Yep. There's 5/16/14 and then 5/16/18. Yeah, those were literally like the only two joints that everybody used from like, I don't know, 1990 to like 2000. Like every Malley and all.
Rob Slaughter bought his in 1994.
See, that's what I'm saying. I said 1990 to 2000.
Now I was in college and Lance was probably 3. I don't know. No, you were older
I was
than that.
9.
I remember seeing you back in 1990 when you were a little tyke.
Yeah, then I would have been 5.
And now you're whooping my behind.
That's when we opened World Champions.
Yeah.
1990. Yeah.
I was 15 years old. I remember going in there because I had lived about a mile and a half away in East Hartford.
Yeah.
And yeah, your dad actually. I have a claim to fame that there's a couple pros that I've beaten in a rack of pool. Your dad's one of them.
Yeah.
But
he was setting you up for
what I didn't know, that's what I was about to get to. Is what I didn't know is that he was letting me win.
Yeah.
He liked the fact that this 15-year-old kid kept coming back.
Yeah. Right.
I didn't know World Championship was named that way for a reason.
Yeah.
God Almighty.
Yeah.
To me, he was just the pool hall owner. And then I came to find out later on that he was the 1976 world champion, and that he was letting me win a rack of 8-ball just to keep me coming back, which was great.
Right. And here's a very unknown fact: there might be like 5 people in the world that ever acknowledged this, or just it's not something you would really pay attention to. But if you search Larry Lisciotti on YouTube, you will see him playing Mike Siegel, and they called it the World Championship Billiards. Maybe they said invitational at the end. I can't remember. It was more of an exhibition type thing where the players put it all on. It was one of the first matches mass produced for sale, and all the players had equal, distribution rights or whatever, and this and that. And the production company, a guy named Brill Key, ended up screwing them all, taking the money, and went to Belize. None of them got a dime. Yeah.
And they couldn't touch him.
He was in Belize, and this is back when how you track people down.
Extradition, what are we talking about?
How do you even track them down? Now with the internet, at least you got a chance. But,
sure.
Back then it was.
Wow.
We're talking like it was in Aspen, Colorado, which we lived in. I was born in Myrtle Beach, and we went to Aspen. We're talking like 86.
Okay.
So good luck trying to track somebody in Belize in 1986.
Sure.
And knowing the pool players, there probably was no ironclad contract and all that.
Right. Sure.
What do you do?
Sure.
But anyways, if you search that video, you'll see him play Mike Siegel, and but yeah, that was labeled World Championship Billiards, which I didn't notice it for a long time. I like to go back and watch it and see my dad every once in a while, and I noticed it one time, and I was like, I wonder if that's where he got the name of our pool room, because that was before he opened it.
Sure. Yeah, he was nicknamed the Prince of Pool, correct?
Yep.
And
Corey Deuel now also goes by that name, but Bobby Hilton had Earl Strickland on the Shark Stream about a week ago, and they were just randomly answering questions in the chat. So naturally, I had to say, who's the real Prince of Pool, Deuel or Lisciotti? And Earl went strongly on the record saying it's Larry Lisciotti.
That's right.
So I like Corey Deuel. He's a good guy. He's a great player, and he's broken the game in a lot of ways, mainly the rack and breaking and stuff like that.
The speed of break,
But he's not a one-trick pony. He could play.
Yeah. Alex Bausch putting in his comments about the joint and the pin, saying that the joint, a nice joint, really sets the tone. No, I got you.
Oh, I agree. Nice joint.
Yeah.
What more can you ask for, except for maybe 2 or 3 of them?
Yeah, I mean, the more the merrier for your stick.
Right.
Oh,
yeah. Oh, the stick.
Yeah, what are we talking about?
Yeah.
What are we talking about?
Yeah. I thought you meant how many cues.
Yeah, no.
Oh, yeah, okay.
I'm not talking about glaucoma.
Oh, I got you.
All right, so Kenny in this match, being down 4-1, has fought back, and of course, I'm just going to commentator curse the heck out of him.
Watch his body at when he contacts. Ready? Watch the movement. He knew it.
Yeah, he came up.
I
Yeah,
mean, he
came up.
moved
Yeah.
and he moved like crazy. He knew it.
Yeah. Even still, though, momentum is with him. Mike is going to have to do a little something here in the next couple of rounds. I'd say, honestly, if Mike lets us get to 8-5, for me, it's done and dusted.
Oh, boy. He's flirting with this.
Yeah, let's see the overhead. Does he have enough? No, he's got enough. He's got enough. He's got clearance.
Yeah, I think so. I'm not a betting man, but if I was, I would say he's all set.
Yeah, I know he's got clearance. I think almost certainly. And the way he's getting down on it, for sure. Scott, now are you just yanking this back, or?
I'll tell you, I would probably literally. I'm not greedy. I just like knowing what can't go wrong. I would probably draw back like a hair to here
corner.
and just shoot the 8, and even then your cue ball should just pinch over a little bit to around here for the 9 in the corner.
I mean, even if your cue is where the 8 is now, you're still okay.
Yeah, so I try to tell people over and over and over, when you play position on a 9 ball and it's almost always in that area,
Right.
especially with a template. I'm gonna wait till he shoots this before I keep drawing. You always want to stay above the ball.
Yeah.
When you play position for the 9, you want to stay up here. If you fall below that line, right down here, like especially on this side or this side,
Those nasty back cuts.
yeah,
right?
or banks or this or that. Worst place you can fall up table is dead center.
Right.
And
even
that
then,
cut to either corner, I'll bet even money on it, and I wouldn't give these guys even money. If they said bet 50 on it, I'd say no bet.
It took me a while to realize that. Well, I didn't realize that. I was told that. I won't tell you who because he's on stream right now. And right on cue, he just got to where you said maybe, but
Yeah.
he still got it.
Yeah, so when you're close to it like this, you can manipulate out of the scratch. If you're stuck on the rail, this gets terrible because there's a scratch to the side.
Great
Yeah,
shot. Okay.
Josh Holt, thanks for the comment, brother.
Yeah, thanks, Josh. Really appreciate it.
So Kenny is turning the tide, I'll tell you. So they did say they were going to take a break after this rack. I'm not sure if maybe
score might be dictating whether or not somebody wants to take a break out there.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm guessing Kenny certainly doesn't want to take a break, and Mike might be. I don't know. It's hard to tell because we're in the booth. We're not seeing his body language. But if folks out there see his body language, I don't know. That might be telling the story. For me, I don't want to go down 8-5 in this situation in a race to 11.
No, this rack is super important.
He's won one rack out of the last 8 racks, or out of the last 7 racks. I'm sorry, apologies. But one out of the last 7 racks. This is not his. If he's not mentally tough enough, this is going to get away from him in this rack right here.
I'll tell you, if I'm Mike, I want to break right now.
Right.
I mean, I don't want to break when things are going bad, but when they're going like this, which is not terrible, but it's negative,
Sure.
I would probably like a breather,
Sure.
to be honest with you, if I was him at least. If
Agreed.
I'm Kenny, I want to break and keep going. I don't want to stop. If things are going my way, I don't want to ever stop.
And what was the final count for what players are putting up today? Is it
500 each. Yeah.
Right.
Dime in the middle.
Yeah, $1,000. It's it can start to wear on you.
I'll tell you though, I don't think either of them
Or sweating the money.
Yeah, I don't think they're never gonna. They're on stream. They're betting a larger amount than I'm sure they're used to. But I'm impressed with how they're keeping their composure.
Yeah.
And neither one looks like the moment is getting the best of them.
Right.
I mean, yes, they've made some mistakes, but that's just a part of the process. Yeah. If they play this same game for the same money 5-6 times, you're going to see much different results every match. Sure. I forget who it was, and I don't even want to guess because I'll probably be wrong. But we've had multiple players, whether it was Frank, Tommy Dale, Sean Dixon, Pete Genovese, play multiple matches.
Sure.
And if you go back and look, I'll guarantee you the first match they played was considerably lower than the next match they played. Like their speed, they played low, they're down. And that's natural. I mean, whether you go to a tournament out of state at a foreign pool room for the first time, and then you return 3 months later, 6 months later, for me at least, I like to mentally prepare for what I'm doing. And when I can envision the place, the tables, I know how they play, the equipment, it just makes it so much easier, you know?
All right, so I think Kenny's eyeing the safe here, trying to get back down table with the cue ball. Can he get it underneath that 2-6 pile?
I think he can. Look at this.
Oh, he hit that pretty good.
Great shot.
Yeah, pressure is mounting on Mike here.
That's about the only kick
Yep.
available, and there's nothing wrong with it. It's a big ball. You could even go
You
behind
taking the one?
it.
I was just gonna say, you taking the 1 or you taking the 2? Yeah. Oh boy.
Short, you know. So that's that short diamond.
Yep. Now everything looks like it's got a home. It's got a pocket. There's a lot of up and down here. 1 back down to the 2, back up to the 3, back down to the 4. Let's see how, you know.
I'd say it's a race to getting good on the 6 ball. Once
Yep.
you get good on the 6, not too many issues. But we have seen some struggles to close out racks. That's for sure, out of both players.
Sure. Wonder if he has enough angle to come around a couple rails to our left. Let's see. Yeah, it looks like he's queuing that way.
Yeah, I like it.
Get through the 6-9 gap.
I really like
He
that.
hit that good.
Yep.
He hit that good.
He's got a line too. Got a nice line to come back for the. There's a little bit of right.
And I could, just based on the body language, it looks to me like Kenny's feeling a lot more comfortable now than he was in the early racks.
Well, yeah, I think.
And the
think
scores,
that,
the scores definitely
being down 4-1 and
Yeah.
now up 7-5. Yeah, that'll make you feel a little bit better. That's for sure.
Oh boy, he hit that real soft though.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, I wonder if just pocketing's bothering him.
He hit that with like valley speed,
Right.
where it's like, oh, you're perfect on a valley, but
Right.
you forgot about the extra 2 feet
Yeah.
of the 9-footer.
And again, these rails aren't real bouncy.
I really like how these rails play.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really do. I don't like how some gold crowns play super bouncy
Sure.
when the rails have been replaced.
Right.
I don't know what it is about gold crown 3s, and time after time, K55 Brunswick super speed rails get installed on them, which is the correct rail, but they don't play right. I don't know what it is. Some play great. So you go to Steve Murphy's to get some work done, and you hit some balls on his gold crown 3 with K55 super speed rails. The table plays perfect.
Sure.
You go to about 3 other spots I could think of off the top of my head,
We won't say them.
and it's not even. I won't even hit a ball on the table.
Right.
I don't care if it's open. I'd rather not even bother with it. It's just so gaffy.
So Mike's going to the air.
Yeah, this I believe the first jump shot we've seen. Did you see any earlier?
I haven't seen any. No. Oh, he hit that good
Jin.
with backspin.
Boy, Jin. Yeah, he hit that good. And now he's got a nice line.
Alex Bausch thinks I'm playing winner. Yeah, you know what? I mean, I could be talked into it. That's for sure.
I don't see why not. And we know winner's going to be pumped up a little bit.
Yeah,
so,
and I'm on tilt, as Tony mentioned, and Pete's got an ATM. So,
High Speedwell says his table did play good.
That's Steve Murphy, I'm guessing. Yeah.
And Alex Bosch.
Yeah.
Talking about the original Gold Crown 1 rails. I really like the Gold Crown 1 original rails are definitely my favorite. But those tables are approaching 40 to I believe 50 years old at this point. So you do run into a lot of rubber that just has worn out. It just doesn't have the what do you say? How do you say it?
Elasticity.
Elasticity.
I'm here for the big words.
Yeah, I was getting a little tongue twisted on that one. But Dan, let your extemporaneous infusions and unpremeditated especiations have lucidity without Radamonte or through sonical bombast. Though, okay,
I feel like you're being facetious.
Just keep that in mind.
That's what you get here, folks. Not pool knowledge. You just get a lot of vocabulary.
Yeah, I'll hit you with a lot of random stuff.
Oh, Ryan Lynham. How are you doing, Ryan? Yeah, so the Fargos, they're preliminary Fargos, but it's, what do we got, 550 versus 505.
Yeah, I believe Mike Ash is a 550 with about 328 games, and I believe Kenny is a 509 with 58 games, if memory serves me right. So neither player is well established.
All right. I'll tell you what, 2 for 2, Mike Ash on the jumps. Yeah, we're going to be able to see a replay on that one. Just a little half ball jump, but still.
Yeah, he would have liked to get to drawn back a little bit more for that 7 in the top left corner, but this is not terrible.
Manageable, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I mean, the only issue is if you pocket the 7 in the top left, your cue ball has a tendency
end up on the right-hand side,
yeah,
sure.
going off that rail and coming back. And you don't want to be stuck around here with a severe back cut on the 8, that's for sure.
Ryan, I think you're right. I think Mike is a 750 Fargo in jumping. He's been looking good in the air. He's pulling a 3D level. Okay, how's he gonna end up here though? This might be some misfortune.
Yeah, I don't believe those locked up.
I think the 7's got window.
Yeah, they got room.
Oh, and I'll tell you what, if Kenny can jump on this and finish this run out, then
you're gonna start thinking about how to approach him for the next set.
Yeah, well, yeah, I might get out there with my ATM card, see what's gonna happen.
Also, Casey Devine says 3 for 3. He jumped one earlier.
Oh, okay. I missed that when I wasn't in the booth at that point.
Ben Parker, another jump with some backspin too. So, backspin, in my opinion at least, and I could be wrong, is usually applied because of where you're hitting the cue ball.
Right.
It's pretty common to see backspin. Like I looked away.
Oh boy! As you looked away, he just undercut it. He just undercut it. He picked up on the outside edge there. Just undercut it. He's trying to come around for the 9 ball.
Yeah, I think he was expecting. Let's see if more like a this type of angle for the 9 in the bottom left is. I'm guessing what the game plan was there.
Right.
But yeah, that was a big mistake, and Mike really needs to capitalize here.
For sure, and this is a big turn of events if he can.
Like we were saying earlier,
yeah, don't get underneath it.
Don't get on this side of the 9. And if you do, it's not so bad if you're in like this type of area. You definitely don't want to be over there on the rails. If you know what I mean, guys.
Yeah, I do.
The drawing wasn't exactly perfect, but you get the point.
So Lance, nice question from Ryan Lynham. I know that Tommy Seminar Jr. I think was in a car accident, correct?
Yeah.
Do we have an update on how he's doing?
Yeah, I don't have an update. It sounds like it was pretty serious. I'll tell you that, but I haven't heard any follow-up. But best wishes to Tommy Jr. He's been a long-time staple of Pool, Connecticut, and very enjoyable guy to be around, and always loved action. And
sure.
I've always had a big smile on my face every time I've seen him.
Sure.
So best wishes to Tommy.
Absolutely.
Speedy recovery, brother.
All right, big rack for Mike Ash to pick that up. 7-6 now instead of 8-5 is a big difference. Racing to 11.
Yeah, that is huge. That was very big. Is that?
All right. So let's see if Mike can capitalize on that. Maybe swing the momentum a little bit here. 7-6. Now all of a sudden this is starting to feel like, even money type race. It's not that bad.
Yeah, that rack. I mean,
big turn of events.
Yeah, like you were saying, that rack was very important.
And like I said, that undercut by Kenny, I think he was just trying to manage getting around 3 rails around the 9 ball, if that's what he was trying to attempt. Probably would have been better served just soft pocketing it and staying up above the 9 and being okay with a little harder cut, sure, but give yourself a reasonable look. All right, so Mike pockets a ball, has a look at the 1, albeit a pretty lengthy one.
Yeah, what do you like here? Pocketing the 1.
I like this a little bit of lower left and just trying to come off that rail and try to shoot the 2 in the side. If I over-roll it, I've got the 2 in the corner.
I think I like this and crossing over for the 2.
You don't mind
on the side there.
You don't mind trying to involve that 5 ball though. Yeah, that's the one thing I'm worried about is involving the 5 ball.
Actually, that's what I was going to say too. If you're worried about the 5, you use right and come this way.
Sure.
But these angles are so deceiving.
Yeah, the overhead's a little bit easier to see what the true story is.
We just showed 3 different routes.
Right.
and some can be player preference, and some can just be you have to be at the table and really see the line. So great
Nice
stroke
shot.
there.
Nice shot. And he's got the 4 does go by the 7. He's looking
Yep.
good.
Got a little steeper than he would have liked, but he's still in the driver's seat for sure.
Now on these, I like staying on this side, on the close side of the side pockets. Yeah, exactly what he just did.
Like here?
Stay
Or
here,
Like,
yep,
like
yep.
come below the side and then out?
Yep.
Yeah.
And now this is just, he's going to have to hit this pretty firm.
Yeah, so it looks like if he's got an angle going... Oops. Hold on, guys. If he's got an angle going this way, that's great because he can draw the cue ball this
Exactly.
way. If he's dead straight, he's in trouble. If he's got an angle going up table, he's in trouble. Okay, so he had the correct angle. Just
Nice
enough.
stun. Nice stun.
Now, this is one of those, do you slow roll and trust the table, or do you make it and
I
just...
kind of like the extra rep.
Me too, for sure. For sure. And I kill balls and slow roll more than most players that play my speed, but I agree. I think you're supposed to cut this one and go up and down and hit it firm and confidently. And he agreed, but don't scratch.
Oh boy.
Okay.
Oh, boy.
So he
Well-
got a big break there.
Sure did. Well, you know what? If it's hard to pocket object balls in the diamond, it's also hard to pocket the cue ball.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, that was huge because if he
Oh,
scratches,
ball in hand with a half table.
right? Kenny probably gets out to 8-6, and this is no duck.
Right.
Even if you no duck, that's for sure. I
mean-
believe the 8-ball is protecting the scratch in the corner.
I think you're right.
Like if you
I think
if
you're
you
right.
play it.
Lance is trying to get his etch a sketch out here.
Yeah, gave up on it for the. He got down quick. He makes it, he's in business. If he hangs it, he could get a roll. He had a great,
You're good. You're good.
great.
As long as he's not elevated on the 8, and he's not.
Yeah, he's got a nice angle to go up for the 8 in the bottom right. The key here is just 8 to the 9, which almost anywhere you fall in the 8,
You like
should be
going
able
forward 2, or you like stunning 1?
to forward 2. But
Okay, he
inside
chose the
English.
stun 1. And he might run into the 9 here. He's got to be careful.
Yeah, so he might end up like around here, or he might go back and forth. Yeah, he tried to hold,
Yeah.
and he was fortunate to hit the 9 there because it pushed the 9 closer to the hole. It took momentum off the cue ball. It brought it more in a line like that instead of a line like that. So that worked out well. Boy, yeah, a
Very good.
little body movement there, but he did it a good.
All right, Kenny's starting to flex a little bit. 8-6, 3 racks away from pay dirt.
All right, so I guess they're not going to do a player break, so we're just going to keep rolling. And Kenny needs 3, Mike needs 5. Mike would have to outscore Kenny 5-2, a 2.5 to 1 ratio, just to win Hill. That's definitely doable. It's once you get to a 3 to 1 ratio, though, it starts to get a little tough here. So I'd say Mike's back in the danger zone where every rack you're pretty much fighting for your life here.
Yeah.
You go down 9-6, it's pretty tough from there.
Now, Mike's got an ace in the hole, and that ace is that I would say probably 75% of the gallery is rooting for him. He's got a lot of fanfare out there. I was out there in the early racks of the gallery.
Now,
That can play 2 ways.
Yeah, it does.
That can play 2 ways.
That plays 2 ways. I'll be dead honest with you. There's been some people watching me that I fell apart because I just wanted to play good in front of them so bad, or I was intimidated because they were a big pro or whatever. I personally, my favorite is going into foreign enemy territory all by myself.
Nobody knows you.
I don't,
Yeah,
you know, I might know a couple guys in the room
yeah.
and get the wire and this and that, but like, I just love playing strangers. I love it. I don't know what it is, but
That's fair. No, I agree.
and
with
I
you.
love everybody against me. I wish I was like, if I could have had anything, I would have been an NBA basketball player. And my dream would be to hit that game-winning dagger on the road and doing one of those fingers in front of the mouth shh in the crowd. You know what I mean? Like that's like what I would live
You're the Ron
for.
Artest. You're the Dennis Rodman of.
Right.
It's fantastic.
I don't know. It's just how I feel. Like I've always felt like it was me against the world, and I don't know. I feel like I just play my best like that.
So, question for you. You
Yeah.
know, look, my dad's a mason, so nobody cares how I lay bricks. But your dad was a world champion.
Right.
Did that ever weigh on you?
Yeah, that definitely had some negatives. That's always had pros and cons. I've had a lot of doors opened up for me that never would have been opened
Right.
if I wasn't his son, for sure. And that has definitely reflected in my pool game. If I was just a normal punk kid, because I was a punk kid, I was a troublemaker, I was in whatever. If I was just a normal punk kid hanging out at a pool room, nobody would care about trying to help me. But being my father's son in my father's business, they all took me under their wing, and it meant a lot to me. You know, like they helped me in a lot of ways, more than just pool.
Sure.
When my father was dying, one of our good regulars, family friends, came to me and gave me some great advice about saying goodbye to him. And I was so young, everybody was kind of like not really telling it, me how bad it was. And he said, "Look, Lance, do what you want, but if I was you, I'd go say a nice goodbye, and you know, this and that." And I always really look back on that because that meant a lot to me, you know. But then there's been cons. I was playing a guy one time, cheap, $50 or something, $50 a set or something. I might be up 3-4 sets or something, and this scumbag starts telling me, "Oh, I was at your house when your father was dying. I was praying over him." And this is a junkie. This is a druggy junkie telling me this. This guy was never in my house. It's just bullshit. Sorry for my language, chap.
Just to get it.
Yeah, he's just trying to shark me. And get the Alabama scumbag that double marked the coin on me. He thought
I was here for that.
He thought he was stealing. He thought I was a 6'10" Fargo. I showed
Right.
up with a knot and a beautiful Beamer. He thought he had a sucker.
Right.
And as soon as I get up on him, so to be dead honest with you guys, he didn't know anything about who my father was or anything. So as a move, as soon as we start, I said, "Oh, do you know who my father was? I want him. I want, you know, no. It is what it is. I want to put that in his mind that,
Hey, you're playing for money, man.
yeah, you know."
Everything's fair in love and war.
So as soon as I get up like 5-1, 6-1, we had gotten along great. We'd had a smoke together. I was really getting along with this guy.
Sure.
But as soon as I got up 5-1, 6-1, he said, "Oh, when did your father die? What did he die of?" This just wouldn't shut up about my father mainly dying,
Right.
you know. And
did the old Alabama 2-pump over there, huh?
yeah, and then an hour later he double marks his coin, and I ended up he tried to buy out of the bet twice, and I said, "You know what? I wouldn't let him buy out because I felt like I had the best of it." And I was up like 9-6. When he double moved the coin, or I said, "You know what, dude, just get out. I don't care about we're betting, I believe, 400." And I said, "You're not even worth the aggravation. Just get out of here." Yeah. And this guy was a giant. Like I
remember Darren Jevons.
Oh yeah, you were here. That's right. Yeah.
Darren followed him out just to make sure that the situation didn't get worse. But
I'll tell you, he had me fired up. I don't know if you saw.
For sure.
He had me really fired up, and I don't really have much fear. I just don't. It's not in me, and I thought he was going to clock me, to be honest with you, but I didn't care.
We thought he was going to his car for something else.
Yeah. It was funny. I was the one that went out in the parking lot first. But regardless, back to the thing about my father and everything. Pros and cons. There's definitely been some things that I was super grateful for, and there's definitely been some people that tried to take advantage of that type of negative information about his dying and all that and whatever.
But I mean, it's got to be, you know. Listen, I was never in that situation, but I know it probably adds some weight to you that, you know, okay, he's Larry the Lizard, then you're the Gecko, or you're the son of Kong, right? You're the, you know, all these things, and you know what? You just want to play pool, man.
Yeah.
You know, and so I know that's got to weigh something.
I'll tell you another one. I was when my father.
Wow!
Oh, look at this shot.
Look at that two-rail
Look
kick.
at this shot.
Yo, got to see a replay of this.
Yeah, let's take another look at that.
Let's go. How did he hit it?
With position too.
Oh man! And that 4 goes by the 5, doesn't it?
Yeah, it looks
It
like
sure
it.
does. Oh, Kenny's in great shape. That is a big swing if he can make good on this. Now he's got angle going into the 7. That's a little tricky. He's got to shoot over the 8 ball. It's also adding some complexity. He's going to be in full stretch here.
Last real quick thing about
Sure,
my dad.
sure.
One thing that got me pretty good one time to the heart.
Sure.
My father passed away. I was a D player. I had just won my first D tournament when he was in the hospital.
Really?
He had come to a couple with me, and I got second. There was somebody that was under handicap that shouldn't have been in there that double dipped me in the finals, and I was really pissed. But whatever. And one second, Chad. I just got to deal with something in the background. All right, sorry about that, chat. So yeah, I was a D player, and then I was like a C player, and I was hill with a guy at Action Billiards.
Okay.
And we
In
happened,
Hamden, right?
Yeah, and we happened to be on a table that had the big spectator rail, so a lot of people watching. And I dogged a 9 hill, and I hung it. And the guy that bought me in the Calcutta, I'm disgusted putting my cues away.
Sure.
And I hear him mutter, "Larry never would have missed that ball." You know, like things like that. You know, and like that's not the end of the world. It's not like I was like super mad at the guy, but like that stuff kind of gets you sometimes.
But it stings.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, guy, you're talking about a world champion, and I'm like at the time a 19-year-old C player.
Right.
Like, well, come on, man, give me a break.
Right. Yeah. No, I figured you were gonna have some moments like that throughout your life, your pool career, that you were gonna have to suffer some of that.
Yeah, and I'll be honest. I've been through a lot more than this has been my life. I mean, I grew up in a pool room. I've seen a lot of things and done a lot of things and been a part of things that average Joes will never see or be a part of, and probably for the best. But
sure.
I feel like I'm pretty mentally tough, and I just don't have much fear in me. I'm not trying to sound a certain type of way or anything. No. Tell you, I've letting that lack of fear has actually been more negative than anything in my life. It's gotten me into some jams, but I don't know. It is what it is. Back to the game here.
Back to the game.
Kenny with an 8-6 lead. Mike running out, and he really needs to, because 8-7, you got a game, and now pressure might go back towards Kenny a little, where you might see a little nerves come into play.
A 9-6 is a whole different story. Yeah, gotta make it. And he doesn't have a lot of angle here, and it's hard to force these pockets.
Alex Bosch, it's easy to say.
Blank would never miss that, right?
When the reality is, the best players have missed more of those balls than anyone to get where they are. So, another thing is, the tournament my father brought me to, it was at Ultimate Billiards, and I played Jeff Williams in the finals, and I had a chance to win the second set. Like, I missed like an 8 ball where the 9 was hanging to close out. And it really, like I said earlier, I had a little temper when I was younger. And me and my father were on the ride back to Manchester. And I'm mother effering how I missed this 8. And he looked at me and said, "Lance, I don't care who you are, it doesn't matter. You have to dog every one of those pressure shots 3 times in your life before you finally get over it, and you just make them like clockwork. It is what it is. He was basically like, take it easy, man, no big deal. We all dog it, And I'll tell you another thing about my father. He was, a world champion, and he always said, it doesn't mean shit. There's always somebody that's playing better than you right here, well, not right here, but somewhere in the world.
Somebody's hotter than you.
Yeah, he always made it sound like, which I agree, as I get older and more knowledgeable in the game, is that it goes in cycles. You'll see a guy just be the man for 1, 2, 3 years. Right. And then it's not that he forgot how to play. It's just that, you can't hold the throne for that long. It's
hard
not
to
how
stay
it
king of the
works.
hill.
Right.
Yeah, for sure.
If you're in a team-based sport, you could conquer for a while,
Right.
but an individual thing, it's
Sure.
so Mike hung that 9 and
What a turning point.
yeah, that's
What a turning point.
that's definitely big.
Now he's got to reach down deep, find something, and stay sharp. What's your attitude when you get into situations like this, when you're down 9-6, race to 11? Do you play more defensive or do you get more aggressive?
Oh, I open. I get wide open.
You open up, right?
I am dangerous. I'm
Right.
telling you. Now it's caught. So to be a little bit more detailed, in a situation like this, 9-6, if I free roll and start getting mega aggressive, on a 7-footer especially.
Sure.
But if I can get it to like 9-8 him or 9-9 or anything like that, I revert back to the basics of how I play.
Percentages.
Yeah, I try to just. It's probably not correct. I almost guarantee you it's not what I'm supposed to do, and I don't do it every time.
Sure.
I do it sometimes when the frustration gets the best of me. Maybe we're betting cheap, and it's not if we're playing for 400 and I get down, I'm not saying I won't do it, but I'm less apt to do it.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Sure.
But I don't know. It's bailed me out of a lot of situations. I don't know. I don't know if it's correct or not. It probably is not, to be honest with you.
But it's who you are.
Yeah, I'll tell you. My whole life, I felt like I was a rhythm player, and then I would get into really the biggest pressure situations I would encounter, whether it be gambling for big bucks or deep in a tournament, and that rhythm stuff goes right out the window.
Right.
Because you don't feel loose and confident anymore. You feel the pressure. You feel your mind, me at least, your brain getting a little scrambled, the anxiety's creeping in, and it's just hard to have that
Emotion
focus.
management.
Yeah,
Right. Yeah.
So that's why I was saying earlier, I like to just blank out my mind as much as possible until I get to the table. Whether it's saving mental energy and not burning yourself out mentally, whether it's managing anxiety, I can't explain exactly what it is. It's definitely not a lack of interest in what's going on, which I hope my opponent doesn't think it's that sometimes.
Sure.
But
The thing I didn't like about what Kenny did there is that he essentially has all of the balls in a half table. And he really juiced that. He hit that. He was going down table. And for me, it looks like a straight pool rack, right? I want to stay in the area and dink and dunk. And I think that's probably what Mike's going to do here with ball in hand.
this is not an easy out. The 4 to the 5 is not easy.
Kind of like coming the other way, where
Towards-
I'm going towards the 6 ball, making up and coming underneath it, and just making 2 rails. Because here, I don't want to involve the 8 ball at all.
You mean like shooting it from here
Correct.
and coming like this way? With
Yeah,
the cue ball?
and coming underneath. Yeah, because you're punching at it the other way because you don't want to run to the 8.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was looking at the 5.
Oh, no, the
I
4, the
didn't,
4.
Yeah, I didn't.
Yeah,
I'm sorry about that.
coming underneath the 6 and going a couple rails,
Okay.
Instead, he was trying to go left and right, and and then you have to punch at it so you don't run back into the 8 and all this other good stuff. I don't know.
Well, I'd say Kenny can pocket this 3.
He's
this-
right-handed, so there's gonna be a stretch.
Pocket the 3 in the corner, and he could probably put some right on it and go 2 rails tight back towards the 4. Now, I wouldn't try to get super close to the 4.
No.
I would be content with somewhere
Center table.
around there,
Yeah.
because then you can pocket the 4 and come in this sort of line
And rope
for the
it back.
5 that would go there, and then you got the 6 that would go there, and that's enough drawing for now, guys.
Yeah, I mean, it looks easy on paper, doesn't it?
Yeah. I like this drawing thing.
I don't miss.
I'm-
I don't miss a shot from the booth. I'll tell you.
Oh yeah, I play much better from the booth.
I'm like
that's
an
for
800
sure.
Fargo in here.
I have been dogging it though. I keep losing my train of thought, but I've got very good reasons for that.
Well, we've got a lot of subject matters. I mean, we've covered 50 years of pool history. I see Eric Tang on the left there. So
Yeah, Eric Tang appearance.
yeah, Eric wanted to play me an 8 ball for money tonight. So my doing commentary is just my way of ducking them.
Yeah.
Really is what that is.
So you know what you do is you play the winner of this, and then Eric plays the winner of that.
Oh, I like it. King of the Hill.
Yeah.
I love it.
Hey.
Let's do that.
And then I'll play the winner of that.
At 4 a.m.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure Pete's good with that.
Oh yeah, yeah. He won't care.
If he gives us the keys, we're okay.
I already got one.
Oh, do you?
Yeah,
Oh, then we're golden.
I printed one time. Yeah. Nah, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
All right, Kenny's got to be mindful of that 8 ball here. He wants to hit that window. I think he wants to hit that window, unless he's going forward. Yeah, did he hit the window?
I think
He's
did.
looking good.
Yeah.
He's looking good.
So looks like up and down. You think?
I always like that extra rail. I mean, I don't know that's whether it's correct or not, but
Well, it depends on how the object ball lays. If that 5 ball was here, you never go
right,
up and
right,
down.
yeah. But this is a there's a lot of cut here.
Yeah.
That cue ball's moving. It's hard to
The
hold.
problem with slow rolling it, which it's not a huge problem. Like if you get to here, you're still okay. But if you get to like here,
Oh, you're done.
Yeah. Well, you still could cut the 6 in, but it makes everything way harder. So he's going to hold with inside,
Yeah,
and that
on
caused
this
him.
diamond,
Yeah,
on
that
this
caused.
diamond, man, you're asking for trouble.
Yeah.
You got to pocket that ball confidently,
Well,
and I think that's part of why I'm saying take the extra rails because it's so hard to pocket on this table.
Well, I don't know if you noticed, but he put a lot of inside English on that to help kill the cue ball. You know,
Right.
bring it to the left rail instead of straight out,
And it bit in.
and that makes it way harder to pocket.
Yep.
Inside English when you're pocketing a ball is the general census on the toughest English to put on a ball and make it compared to draw, follow, or outside English. I mean, I'd say follows. Well, I'd say left and right. Outside English is
Sure.
the easiest. Follow would be the second easiest.
And inside gets tricky.
Draw, probably the third easiest, and then inside is the
It
fourth,
gets
the
real
hardest.
tricky. Yeah.
Is my opinion at least.
Kevin Kiley in the stream. How you doing, Kevin? The pride of US1 Billiards. I mean, they have this other guy named Jason. I don't know, but
Yeah, no, that's-
outside of that, you know.
All I ever hear is Kev.
Oh yeah, Kevin.
He's the
I mean,
he's the man around the house pro. The house pro.
House pro.
House pro. But I don't know. Tommy Dale and him go. You know, they have some battles.
yeah. Tommy Dale's been up here doing make a score money matches.
Yeah, I think.
He battled Sean Dixon, and
Yeah,
he
and
battled.
I think they might have another one rematch.
Oh, yeah?
Semi in the works. Yeah.
All right. Yeah, Alex thinks he should have used just a touch of inside. And Kevin says Tommy Dale's the true house pro there. Okay, well, I know Kevin and Tommy have been partners in money match Scotch doubles. Kevin's been a partner of mine in the Cooper Cup. We did quite well together, man. I think it's because bald is beautiful. And,
Kylie says more of a Rax player now. Jeez, I wonder
That's
why.
right. Yeah, he's got a vested interest at Rax here,
Yeah. Well,
and
he's got a great girl here.
yeah, pool's not the thing he's thinking about.
Oh boy, I
Did he
don't
get
know,
there?
I don't know why he did that. Like, let's look at this. Why not use low left and shoot the 8 in the other side pocket? This is asking for a lot more. I don't get it.
Yeah, and he's gonna have to take. Yeah, and I'm assuming the overhead's gonna tell us that the 8 goes cleanly by the 9. I don't think the 9 makes this a small pocket, does it? Oh boy,
It's tighter than I
boy,
thought, I'll
the
tell you
overhead
that.
really tells a different story, doesn't it?
Yeah, I mean, I think it goes, but it's no hanger.
Yeah, he's gonna have to bear down on this.
There's a scratch in the other side you got to worry about. There's a lot of
He hit it good. Is he off the rail?
yeah, okay.
He hit it good. He's bridging over the pocket, but
But you know what? He's got the good part of the side pocket to where you can still address the cue ball on the low side. See. Well, he's staying on the high side. See, I don't like rolling balls into a high like this. I'd rather go low and kind of stun a little bit. But that's just me.
oh boy. Well, he didn't end up horrible.
No, that's if you're gonna miss, it's.
But if Kenny picks this bank up, and I'm assuming he's gonna try to bank.
Yeah, I think so too. Sorry, thanks, Kev Kylie. Sorry, buddy. Sometimes I hit
Oh wow.
I hit
Oh
the
wow.
wrong button or something.
And he paid for that. He paid for that decision.
So looks like conceding that one, and that's going to bring us to 9-7.
Yeah, I agree with what you said, Lance. I think the bank in the side was the better play.
Well, I just
It-
there was a possibility of if you bank at the pocket he went, you bank it short, and it comes out to the same speed as the other bank. It comes out to the center of the bottom rail, and the cue ball stays up table. It's similar, but I don't know. It seemed like you had to spin it and back cut it more that way is the only issue I don't like there.
Right. Tony Blaze says, Dan, get your elbow off the mute button. Tony, that wasn't my elbow.
Yeah, that was all me. I don't know. That's the second time I did it tonight, and I have the way I draw on the screen, I can't see if it's muted or not like normal, so sorry about that, guys, but
He's excited with this Etch-a-Sketch tool that he's got, and you're doing a good job with it. I'm not gonna lie to you, but
well, you know what I like is it's a multi-purpose thing because now we get a full screen view instead of the small
Which is
screen
really
view.
nice.
Yeah, I mean this makes it. But see how we can't see the volume now. So if I do hit one of these hotkeys that I have on the keyboard by accident,
Right.
I'm not aware.
we could just be talking to ourselves, which some of the crowd might like.
Yeah.
actually.
Yeah,
they're
for sure.
probably okay with us
Yeah.
going mute for a little while.
Yeah, look, we muted, and I think the viewers went up like 8 viewers or something.
We've got some YouTube. That's great. All right, 44 in the total stream. Yeah, keep liking and sharing, folks. Make a Score Tours bringing you some cool action matches. This one you're
Oh,
watching.
boy.
Oh boy. Oh my God. 3 on the snap and scratch.
So
Well.
2, 3, 4 looks like a hanger. 4 to the 7 looks relatively easy. The 8's hanging. Kenny, let's see if he's got ice in his veins because he's supposed to take ball in hand and run out
And
here.
run out here.
Yeah,
I
I mean,
agree.
there's what 6 balls on the table, I think.
Yeah.
2,
Yeah. He made 3 on the snap.
So and they lay good. I mean, I don't
Right.
care if there's 4 balls, 3 balls on the table. They can be a mess.
Yeah,
But
there's no jam up
these
here.
lay good. The only thing that would have been nicer here is if the 9 was above or below the 7 by like 2 or 3 inches, so that the 7 had both holes, both bottom corners.
Sure.
But where the 4 lays, with the 3 and the 4 gets you to the 4, like you should be pretty perfect on the 7.
Oh, he's gonna have to shoot over the balls. That's the only problem here.
Kev Kylie, off memory, it's Mike Ash is a 550 with 358 games of robustness, 328 games of robustness, and Kenny is a 509 with 58 games of robustness.
Yeah. So both I think are in that preliminary rating,
Especially Kenny.
especially Kenny. Yeah.
But like you said earlier, which I was unaware of, but I assumed that, for sure, at least,
Sure.
that they do play each other at snap, so they're familiar with each other.
Absolutely. Yeah, these guys probably face off once every 2 to 3 months, based on the Masters teams that they're playing on.
I need a name for that little guy that jumps. That little when people like and share. Do you see that? Little,
Oh, and that's
I need like a little name. for
yeah,
that guy.
it's
I think he's got the yips because he's always jumping.
that's right.
You know.
So we see this. I don't know if it's coming from YouTube or if it's coming from Facebook, but we see this essentially this character that pops up when you folks hit like during our stream. We love it.
Yeah.
So keep hitting like.
Yeah, they say it too.
They see too.
Yeah.
Perfect. Even better.
I like to tell them, make that guy dance. Are you
Make
guys
him
alive?
dance.
Say something. Give me something, chat. Like, share.
Oh man, oh man. And I'm telling you folks, it looks like it's super easy, but these pockets with the deep shelves, if you don't take care.
Stone, thanks for liking the stream, brother. So playing.
Now these, I'll tell you what, these are trickier than you think because it's so deep into the shelf.
Yeah, I think these are way trickier than most people. Most people look at these and think, "Oh, it's a hanger." Especially deep in the shelf like this,
Yeah.
is tough. I mean, if you use, I think if you hit the 8 really thin, it's totally random where the cue ball is going off that point.
Sure.
I think based on what I'm seeing here is that if you hit like half of the 8 firm with some right, you might get
And grab off the rail. Right. Yeah.
God dang it.
Where's that drawing tool?
Well, it's just sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. If you can hit like half a ball with some right, And
really,
even just get to there, or even one of these type of things, you know, depending on how you want to play it. You could go rail first.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
I don't like that on diamonds because you whiff at them a lot. This one you shouldn't
Sure.
whiff at, but if you were like center table with the cue ball, you could whiff at it a lot
So
easier.
he's going straight top here. Let's see what happens. And you're right. It caught that corner and just now makeable.
If he had used some right, I think he gets much better results. But it's not terrible. I mean,
Right.
it's way better than Kenny making that 8 and running out and you're down 10-7.
Sure.
So
Sure.
this is where you're supposed to not really feel pressure on this 9.
Yeah.
I know I wouldn't.
Right.
I'd say, oh my God, I want to stick
got a
this
gift.
one. I want to fire this one in and make
Sure.
my opponent sick. I mean, like,
Right.
I feel happy to be shooting
This is a tilt ball.
Yeah, I mean, I don't like the speed he hit it, but he hit it
Nice
great.
shot.
He hit it great.
Nice shot. And you can hear the gallery through the door. Folks, if the crowd's pumping Mike up, he's got that advantage. If it's making him a little bit too nervous, then who knows?
All right, guys, so we got 9-8 coming down to the end.
All right, somebody's going to be about a half a grand richer in about 20 minutes or less. Let's see which one it is. What do you think, folks at home? Who do you think's going to come away with it now? Anybody got momentum here? You know, who do you feeling? I'll tell you what. Like I said, if Mike's feeding off of the energy in the gallery's certainly pulling for him. I can hear it through the door.
Man, that's a great break. I really, really like how Mike has been breaking all night.
Yep. Centralizing the cue ball. He's got to look at the 1. Everything's got a home.
Yeah. 1 to the 2. You might be jacked up a little over the 8, and you got to draw back for the 2 on the side.
Yep.
Now, it really doesn't matter which side of the 2 you get on, because where the 3-4 lay, it's not the end of the world if you have to shoot the 3 in the top right corner, because the 4 is right there for you.
Right.
So he's got options here. He definitely has to draw back for starters for the 2. He can't just stop the cue ball up there. He's got to come back at least, preferably to that diamond above the left side pocket.
And that threatens the pocketing.
Yes, for sure, because he is bridging over the 8. And well
He hit
done.
pretty good.
Yeah, well done. So, like I was saying about, you don't have to get greedy and get like here, perfect. Sure. With now, he can roll the 2 in and come down here for the 3 straight in the corner, and then he'll have the 4 on the side, the 6 in the corner. You know, it's not perfect, but
it's manageable.
Yeah, it's very like if I was at the table, I would be like, I wish I got more towards like the side pocket with the cue ball, so
Sure.
you could just roll forward, or even better, right here, where you can make the 2 and the 3 in the same pocket and go up table with
Now,
the cue
do you
ball.
think he's thinking about coming around 3 rails? Do you think he's trying to get through that 7-8 gap?
I think it would be a big mistake, unless this angle is more deceiving than I think. If
I think he's got a lot of angle. Yeah, he's going 3 rails.
Yeah.
I could see the way he was posturing himself.
Yeah. Now, if the angle was deceiving, and if he had rolled the 2 in, if he was going to end up way down there, I totally agree with it.
Right.
But it looked to me like he could have came here, like pretty comfortably. But these angles are super deceiving.
Yeah, I mean, at this diagonal look, I mean, sometimes the overhead tells you a better story, but
I'll tell you, I don't use the overhead much. We have a couple minor issues with it sometimes, so I try to stay away from it. So I haven't used it as much as I should, and I do plan on using it more in the future, guys. But I am slacking a little bit tonight.
Gotta get him on his A+ game here. Big shot by Kenny.
Great.
Made it good.
Yeah, that
And now,
confidently.
Unfortunately for him, this is one hell of a cut. What's your thought process here? Because if you look at the overhead, I don't think he can back cut this, can he?
No, I don't think so.
I mean, it's tough.
I would say, let's see.
You trying to play safe here, or are you just trying to just
to
the hell with it and try to real thin it?
There is a bank in the other side pocket.
Sure.
But
okay, he's thinking
the
safe.
cue ball's wild. I think safe was the move there. I think Jason Shaw or something's probably going to bank that back in the side and,
For sure.
and get out. But I think with these players' caliber, I think the safe was the
right
move.
move.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's 9-8. You don't want to be a hero, and Kenny's got the lead too. So the last thing you want to do is maybe bank the 3. And there was a potential scratch 2 rails into the same side that the 3 was going. So you really
Yeah, as they say, discretion is the better part of valor.
Right. So like this is where we were talking about if Mike could have made it like 9-8 by free stroking, which he didn't. He just stayed to his game and it worked. But this is like where I would say, all right, Lance, enough free stroking. Let's tighten up. Let's get back to business, And so he's fought his way back in it. I mean,
is he going to try to roll up on the 4? Does he have angle going towards the 4? It's hard to tell. If he tries to put the 3 in between the 9-8, let's say, does he have angle enough to get up on the 4 and
to
lock
play
up?
safe? You're talking?
Yeah.
Yeah. You just draw. Just use a little draw. I mean, you might need a stopper with the 3 so that it doesn't come up and sell
maybe
out
rub up,
off the back of the 7.
Right.
But he didn't get the safe on the cue ball, but the 8 might have bailed him out.
Yep. I think he got away with it pretty good.
So yeah, the 8 definitely got him here.
There might be a sliver of a window between the 7 and the 8. I don't think there is.
Yeah, I don't think so either. He might be able to swerve a little. Yeah, he's kicking back rail, I believe.
Yep. All right, so we're gonna have a little cat and mouse game here.
Yeah, good shot. So I don't know if that's the way he intended to hit it. There was another safe where the 3 goes up by the side and the cue ball freezes on the 7,
sure.
But you see that commonly where the ball gets thinned and cue ball goes up table and you get coverage. So
all right, so who's going to be the victor of this defensive battle? What do you think the play is here? Are you thinning the 3 and I don't know what I would like to do here.
this is tough.
This is a tough
let's
play.
see, what do you do? Let's just start throwing. Oh boy. Oh no. If he wanted to, he could soft kick with some spin into the 3, send the 3 here, try
And
to
then
keep
try to
cue
get
ball
up on
here.
the 7, sure.
It's dangerous because if both balls end up over here, you end up leaving them
Selling
straight
out,
in.
Sure.
It's hard to go into the edge here.
Right, because they both show themselves.
Right.
I mean, 2 rail.
I don't mind kicking this way into the ball, and then that ball goes this way, and you could hit it hard.
Little kick and stick, yeah.
Well, or you could hit it hard and just try to make sure the 3 goes up table somehow, and cue ball stays down. He's got options here. He could try it controlled.
Yeah, this was what I thought was dangerous, and I think
That's
I think
not bad
he can,
though.
Yeah, what is this scratch capability here?
Well, I'll tell you what he's going to do. He's going to bank it and put him right behind the 7.
Put him on the 7.
That's the only bad thing about this.
A nice play by Kenny.
Yeah. And I don't think
This
he's got
6
an
takes
edge.
away the 1 rail on one side. You might have to bank the 1 rail on the other side,
No edge.
or use the short rail. Yeah, short rail, but he's right-handed, so this is going to be a little bit of a twist. And he's going to be super awkward here. And the old Fedor Gorse behind the back might be in play. I saw him do that the other day. I don't know which tournament it was.
Mike?
No, Fedor Gorse. I don't know if that was at Turning Stone or what.
Yeah, he just won. Turning Stone beat Shaw. Shaw beat him for the hot seat, and then Federer beat him in the finals. Can't stand when that happens.
I know, because
they're both
you're
1-1,
and then the other guy gets the trophy.
Yeah, if I'm Shaw, that really burns me up.
I know what you mean.
And not to mention, when you're in the hot seat, you wait forever.
You're cold.
Yeah,
he's hot.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't like that, man. But
there is something wrong. Yeah, there is something rotten about it, isn't it?
Listen, so I do 64-player tournaments in one day.
Sure.
I don't have the luxury of time. I just don't. So I have to do one set, finals, extended, whatever it is.
But a 4-day tourney.
Right. They started. I had this conversation with somebody else. They were starting the finals at 7:00.
Right.
And both these guys run out like water.
Right. They'll be done by 9:30.
You're telling me they don't have time for 2 sets? Like, come on.
You know.
But I'm not knocking Zuglin. He's a great guy. He's run a great tournament forever, and he's earned everything he has and gotten, and all. Great guy. But it's just one of those.
That's a little nuance that we could probably do without.
He's not the only one. A million guys.
Sure. But I know what you mean. It's a rotten feeling. You beat the other guy. Okay, now the cynic would say, yeah, but the final race was to 13. Yeah, but so what?
So what?
So what?
Yeah,
like you said, you're cold, he's hot.
And then some of these guys will do like, if it was a race of 7 the whole tournament, they'll extend to like, if the hot seat winner gets to 7 first, he wins. But if the opponent gets to 7 first, it extends to like 9 or 11 type of thing.
Right.
I'm not a fan of that either.
I know the Blue Felt used to do that, right? I don't know if
I've seen a lot of people do it, but I just, I don't know.
Yeah, no, I hear you. I hear you, partner. It's I'd feel the same way. Now, Mike's got a pretty big shot here. He's going to come off one rail. I don't know if the goal here is to try to pocket it or try to stay behind the 9, maybe 2-way.
Yeah, this is tough.
Good kick. Does he end up?
Give up a look in the corner.
Yep.
So Kenny has, this is, I believe, his second chance, maybe even third, but I think second chance to run out to get to the hill. This is where the serial killers are exposed, and you see who's got ice in the veins.
Yep, the mentality of each player. Yep. Alex Bausch says the modified extended race is the dumbest format of all time. Do single long race like TS or true double.
I agree that it's my least liked format, and yeah, I mean I totally agree with that comment. Either do a single long race like Turning Stone or true double. And you could even if it's races to 9, make it true double race to 7. I'm still not in love with that, but if you have to do it for time restraints, not the end of the world. But it's just. Pool is such a goofy thing. We have no not standards, but
but no, you're right. I mean, go challenge somebody in a random bar in an 8-ball match for some money, and you've got to spend 16 minutes talking about what rules set you're playing.
And then they still have a discrepancy.
I thought it was modified BCA. I don't know, man.
Some of these guys, I mean, that's the rules I've heard in dive bars and stuff is just like. You don't have to hit your ball first. If you hit your ball, you don't have to get a rail. If you make an honest attempt to hit your ball, it's not ball in hand.
I can use the opponent's ball in a combo. I can't use the opponent's ball in a combo.
I've heard every goofy thing. Me and Steve Mack. Hold on, let me see that real quick. Here's another. Me and Steve Mack are playing Scotch doubles against Croatian multi-champion Ivica Putnik and some unknown road partner of his with a fake name Gordon. And
it's like Steve H. Right?
Yeah, right. And we're playing Scotch doubles back pocket. We're playing Scotch doubles 9-ball, but we get a bottom corner and they get a top corner.
Okay.
Which is a big advantage, right? So, I always have been a stickler for the rules because I don't like to argue. I don't like to get into it. I know how this goes. I've been around a long time. I iron out every rule possible. This is when I owned World Championship Billiards too, by the way. Sure. So they're in my pool room. But they're both like 7 feet tall, and we're playing after close from 2 a.m. to 8 a.m. It's just us 4. So it's them 2 giants against me and Mac, right? So we're on the hill, or it's 5-5, race of 7, whatever, real tight. And we're betting pretty good, 300, 400, 500 a man. And our pocket is on screen, the low right, and their pocket's the top left. They play an 8-9 combo into our pocket and then want to spot the 9. I said, dude, we made these rules earlier. You can't shoot the money ball in the opponent's pocket. We were very clear on if it goes in any neutral pocket, it spots.
Right.
But you can never make a money ball in your opponent's pocket. So naturally, they're like, yeah, what are you going to do about it? You know what I mean? Like, this is what it is. No, you're wrong. What are you going to do about it type of deal? And I could have done something, but I wasn't going to take it to that level. I'll just say that. But so we let them screw us with that, you know. And we got the cash hill. And they're about to leave. So we'd gamble with these guys probably like 7 sessions over 2 weeks. Almost every other night we were playing. And they were flying out back. Well, Ivica was going back to Croatia. He literally was flying out of Bradley like 6 hours from after this set ended. He said, you know what? I want to double, triple a bet, whatever, this and that, and play one more before we go. And we said no because we never had a single issue gambling with them the first 6 sessions or whatever.
But after that.
But we knew since they were about to get out that any scumbag move might happen.
Right.
And we got the worst of it.
Yeah.
They get 2 7-foot giants versus me and Steve.
Right.
I ain't going to get into weapons and stuff over. I mean, what are we doing here? Like, I just said, you know what? No, the end. And they beat us. They over the whole 2 weeks or whatever. 7 sessions. Yeah, they beat us for maybe like $2,000. Nothing crazy, but
sure.
But yeah, those are just the things in pool that are really unfortunate because similar to the Alabama guy, we got along great until that.
For the moment.
Yeah, and it's always
until the move.
Yeah, it's unfortunate, but part of.
So we're gonna find out what's in Mike Ash's veins right now.
Yeah, I mean he's got a great line here.
Yeah, a big 3-ball out here.
Yeah, 7-8 in the same pocket, and maybe even the 9 in the same pocket. So yeah, he didn't use draw there. He tried to just use right hand English, and he needed to use a little draw. But this isn't bad. I mean, it's not great, but
are you snapping this back into the left hand rail and trying to play for like the pro side? You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, the small side.
Small side. Thanks, Alex.
I don't know what is going on with that. It's something with the replay. Sorry. Thank you, Alex. I got to look at something later. Thank you, guys. Thank you. You should be able to hear us now, correct? There's something going on with, I don't know, a hotkey. I don't know. Yeah, maybe.
Big shot here. Big shot.
Yeah. There's a scratch looming in the top left corner. All right. And
oh man, what a turn of events!
This is not what you want to leave them,
folks. We hope you can hear us now. If somebody can put that in the chat, make sure that we're coming through. Something happens when we go to the replays. All right, perfect. Thank you, Dennis Brewer. Thanks, Alex. Yeah, so we've got to use our replays with caution.
I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know how that's happening. I'll get that sorted out.
Big shot here.
I don't like the speed rolling like that, but if you
he
make
must have
it,
been
you
dead
make
straight.
it.
Yeah, I know.
Why
just
not
saying,
just
stop
it?
Yeah, I know what you mean.
You get way more skids when you roll the ball. You know, you're at the mercy of the table roll. You know,
sure.
It's just I don't know. It doesn't look confident. It doesn't feel confident to me, at least. but he made it. And
Well, Kenny has made it to the hill, and Mike has got some work to do here. Hopefully, he can stay mentally tough. You know, I wonder that 7 to the 8 transition, right, where we were saying, you know, pull that back, come back around the rail, shoot them in the same pocket, and he decided to just sort of tap the 7 in and play the 8 upwards. That was a big, I don't know, sort of body language thing to me.
When he bumped into
when he bumped into it.
That started the domino effect for sure. Because,
but to me, what I think what that says is that he's a player that's not really confident right now.
I would agree, because that, I mean, it could have just been nerves coming out in one stroke, but
sure,
that was a very big mistake that, I'm not trying to be harsh, but you just can't let that, you can't make that mistake in that position. You just can't. Not at their level. Right. If you're below their level, sure,
you're an APA 4 or 5 or whatever. And that's no offense to 4 or 5. It's just, but you're just trying to pocket there, and whatever happens, sort of thing.
But with these players, Fargos and capabilities,
these guys
and
are
all
7,
that,
9 APAs, and you know. All right, push out by Kenny. I think Mike's got to fire away.
I mean, there's.
You play safe here?
I mean, there could be one. You know, you just push the 1 behind the 7. It looks like the cue ball would probably leak out. I don't mind aggression here. I know if I'm at the table, I'm most likely trying to cut this one in. I'll show you guys. I'll try to.
Let's try to do the overhead without losing the or there we go.
Try to cut it and then have the cue ball come out
and take a little extra
and
rail.
Just come out. And I just want to get anywhere past like here. You know, I just want to get.
Now
like
he's up on the rail, so it's probably going to drift forward instead of coming backwards like you drew. But
you mean more like
this? But more exactly. But you know,
fine.
you take the distance and you're okay with that.
Yeah.
I mean.
Yeah, if you want it to come out straight, you got to put some right on it, which makes it probably a little bit harder to pocket the 1. But
yeah, and he's going to be, you know, he's going to be solely focused on pocketing. I think if he goes for it because he's jammed up on the rail like that.
Like I'm sharking Eric. I got him.
Well, yeah, Eric Tang probably missed that shot right there. That's
All right, so let's see what he decided here. I think he's gonna. I don't know. I think he's gonna hit it soft the way he's. Yeah, he's playing safe.
You're right.
Oh, you know what?
Look at that. Look at that.
Wow, that was a... Oh, he said something. I don't know.
Something's... Yeah, it's funny. He didn't look very happy when it fell, did he?
Yeah, that's strange.
Something must have been said in the gallery, or...
Or maybe he wanted to play safe and the ball rolled off.
Oh, that's interesting.
I don't know. He seemed definitely like a little...
Yeah, he looked perturbed when that fell. I don't know.
But it looked perfectly clean and executed. So, yeah, there was something...
perfect. Something's funny there.
Look at this guy. And watch your back, Mike.
Well, it's all there for him to do, right? Everything's got a home. 2 to the 4 is tricky because the 9's going to, you know, rear its ugly head. Yeah, and he was worried about the 9, I think.
Yeah, I
he was worried about the 9, and that's, you know, it's one of those where you just have to say, this is the right shot, I'm going to shoot it, and I'm not going to be worried about it. Ben Parker, yeah. That's about, I wish I missed safes the way he missed safes.
Yeah, me too. Me too. Only a 9-ball, though. No, I don't want to do that.
Not 10-ball. No, God, no. Well, at least called safe, 10-ball.
Yeah, the old, like Jose says, he hit it too good.
Yeah.
I did something against Kevin Bourne in our last match. I can't remember exactly what it was, but we were playing 8-ball, and I meant to pocket a ball and call safe, and I didn't. And he knew the situation, and he kind of looked at me like, did you mean to call safe? Sure. And I just told him, I said, you know what, dude? I didn't say I did, but I didn't say safe, and it looked obvious that I was trying to pocket the ball like that. So it's hard for me to be like, because I froze behind the ball,
right? So
I didn't want it to be a gray area where it's like, you know. Sure. And I know Kev is a cool guy.
Yeah.
He would, if I said it, he would be like, yeah, okay, no problem.
Oh man, and he got stuck. He hit it real good. He avoided the side pocket scratch, and it was one rotation too fast.
Kev Kiley, I will ask about that after it's over. I'm probably not going to ask whoever loses, just
out of respect for
yeah.
it.
But whoever wins, I'll make sure to ask. I like to see how people lose. Like, some people lose real gracefully with class, and some lose their mind, and some are just somewhere in between. And
Sure. Yeah, I try to make sure that when the last ball falls, that I do it with dignity. Either way.
I have routines of how I start and end matches, and I just try to keep the same routine every time. I go up, and now because of how we're living now, it's more of a fist pump. I always was a handshake guy, but I'll give them a little fist pump, and I'll say good luck, play well, like clockwork every time. Most of the time, they won't say anything. And then after the match, win or lose, I'll do the same thing, give them daps, and I'll say good match, win or lose.
Sure.
Sometimes if I drill them like 7-0, I won't say good match because I don't want it to sound
like, yeah, hey, good match, kid.
Yeah. But I like.
He missed it, didn't he?
Yeah, he did.
All right, well, ball in hand, 6 balls, everything's got a home, and Kenny Jaramillo is 6 strokes away from a $500,000. Let's see if he's going to make a score tonight.
Yeah, I mean, nothing's stopping him here. If he executes and does his job, he's going to get the cash.
And I think Kenny's realizing now that if he goes in the corner, he doesn't have to elevate over the 9 ball. He might still stay with this side pocket shot. But I wonder if he adjusts to the corner shot. Well, no, he'll take the elevation. Oh, no, he doesn't have to elevate at all. We had a bad angle.
So he's got options here. He can make the 5 and come back for the 6 on the side. He can just stay around here for the 6 in the corner, which is probably what I would do, especially because he's bridging over the 6 and it's a little funny. The issue with that is the cue ball will most likely leak out to about here, but that's okay because you can like kind of check it here with right. I don't know what's going on with that, but we're good.
All right. While we went to our projector, we realized we muted ourselves again. Sorry, guys.
Yeah, I think it was for like literally like a second or two. So
yeah, Ben, I agree. Yeah, the long bridge there didn't seem to. He didn't look stable. And Brian Palacio says he wants to put his hat in the ring for a Make a Score Tour money match. We got to find him an opponent.
I'm sure Jonas Soto or Delgado would love a rematch. This will resolve all these mute problems that keep happening, so I can see.
Mike hit that real good. You can hear the gallery clapping. All right. Just got to keep his nerve now.
Yeah, I mean, looks like he could maybe have a little angle going towards the side. Yeah, he sure does. Has an angle going towards the side. He's got options, though. He can stay above the side, have the cue ball go to our left part of our left of the side. Oh, yeah, less of an angle than I thought. Oh, boy.
Oh, boy. Yeah. The diamond curse, man.
Yeah, Brian, I'll look up your Fargo, and I pretty much have ranges, players of all ranges that are interested. It's just a matter of if you guys can come to agreeable terms.
Same thing with Nate Johnson throwing his hat in the ring.
I mean, that might be the match right there. I don't know what their Fargos is, but I think it's pretty close. So, not ideal. Very doable, but not ideal. He would have liked more of an angle to play the 7 and the 8 in the same pocket. With this angle, he might be better off just going forward and shooting the 8 in the top left corner because it will also provide him an angle to get back to the 9.
See, I like sticking right there, and then let's see, I don't like going forward. Yeah. He tried to throw it in to stick around, and it bid a little too early.
Yeah, so 539 versus 510. I don't know what your guys' robustness is off the top of my head, but I will tell you that our hot charts in Fargo, I believe handicap starts at a 30-point difference, and you guys are only at 29. So I believe that Fargo would have you playing even up until about, I don't know, 6-6 or something, maybe beyond that.
And then maybe it's a 7-6-1 rack on the wire.
Maybe,
or something like that.
I think that's how it goes, but it might just be 29 or less. There's never a spot, but I'm not 100%. So Mike is in business here.
Yep. Yeah, that spin error by Kenny. I wonder if it's going to come back to haunt him. If Mike gets out of this rack, you're going to hear the gallery go a little bit wilder.
So Tassin, I have put in some thought about having some high tournaments, high entry tournaments, but I'm really not in love with capping anything right now. At least in the future, it will happen. But for now, I'm trying to grow the tour, and I want the doors open to everybody. And there's a growing opinion online that all these Fargo capped tournaments are doing more damage than good. That's up for debate, that's for sure. But the point is, it's not going to happen very soon, but it will happen, but not soon. There might be a 3, 4, 500 a man, like R5 hot, super gambling type of tournament. That might happen.
Sure.
But, you might have to play Lucas an 8-3 race with alternating break. And if you're not okay with that, then I'm going to have to give you the generic wait for the next one.
And I mean, in 9-ball, where anything goes, really. I mean, you have to make 3 balls in that case, right? In an 8-3 race against Lucas, you have to make 3 balls.
Yeah, Alex Bosch says Fargo caps are trash, and he's I don't know why some of them are only coming here and some are going. I don't know, but yeah, I mean, I feel like getting punished for being successful and putting time and work in is just so bad for the game. I mean, the guys who are putting the most work in and effort in are being punished.
Well, it's not even just that for me. It's you hear about this every now and again, where you hear of players like, oh, if I want to fit in these like 1,200 Scotch doubles things, then I've got to dump a tournament, a Tuesday night tournament or whatever, and make it work that way. You don't want that in the game. You want to clean that up, right? I mean, I don't mind that safe by Mike.
Let me take another look at this.
I don't mind that safe by
Really?
Mike. I mean, he's clearly not comfortable cutting that in. I would go for the cut, but if you're not comfortable, put it side, have a containing safe, and make. I know it's for the win. But like.
Well, I'll tell you here though, when you leave this bank, there's ways to. He's gonna bank it, and if he goes short, the cue ball ends up bottom of the middle rail, where you don't get like this. Like he barely even tried. Well, if he overrolled it.
Yep. So now Mike's getting up with a better.
Actually, yeah,
better look
this
than
is better, but it's only because Kenny made a mistake there.
Yes, yeah, for sure. Listen, I'm firing away at that shot because I don't want to give him a look at the 9-hill. But I mean, on the hill, not hill.
Well,
on the hill.
I think he's just flat out the favorite to make it.
Right.
And I think he's more of a favorite to make this one, but
I think his body language was just saying, I don't want anything to do with that shot. And if that's the case, then don't sell out with it. Play us safe. Oh my word! For a $1,000,
yeah,
Mike Ash has just rattled the 9-ball.
That looks like it's gonna do it, chat. And are you serious about potentially playing or no?
I am serious.
Okay, guys. I am going to. If assuming he makes this and it's over, I'm gonna go out there and see if there's any possibility of another set. So stick with us shortly. It's gonna say we're ending, but I'm gonna stay live, and I will be back momentarily and fill you guys in with if we're done or if there's gonna be another match. We'll be right back. guys. We got some action. So, Dan Usello wanted to play Kenny on this 9-foot diamond, and Kenny said no, he wanted to play on the 7-foot diamond. And we were all willing to do that, but the 7-foot diamonds are tied up. Then we tried to have a Scotch doubles game with Kenny and Mueller, his cousin, brother, relative, against Phil Ignacio and Dan Usello. And Mueller had been drinking a little. He said, nah, I'm out. So what we do have is we're going to have a race to 9 ball, all the 9, with Dan Usello and Phil Ignacio. That is going to start. I'm going to shut the stream down, restart, retitle everything, go live and all that. And I'm going to do that right now. And I expect them to start very soon. I would say probably about 10 minutes, maybe less. So come on back, guys, shortly.